These two grown men had never seen The Simpsons. How the fuck's that even happen? They're two grown men on a mission now, so buckle up and just strap in.
Feel like I'm dragging a heavy load. Don't try and turn my head away. Bop, 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 yeah. Flirting with disaster every day.
Two grown men had never seen The Simpsons. It's America's Barley Basket.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of America's Barley Basket. My name is Marlon Wilds. Alongside me, Nathan Folsabach. Hello, Nathan.
Hello, Marlon.
Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt while you're sipping.
No, I had a moment just to think. Do I want to do something silly?
Okay.
Or am I going to keep it on the rails?
And you went with straight business.
Yeah.
Business in the front and the back.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Underwear are underneath these sweatpants.
Really?
There's been times it hasn't. I don't want to alarm you. We'll give them some laundry times.
I've never noticed.
Like you're
for what
like,
it's worth,
I respect you enough that I don't hike them up and show off the bubble gum. You know?
you're
like,
not bag splitting, which I appreciate. Yeah,
you're,
I like that.
you're very professional.
Just like Jesus, Nathan. All right.
You got your arms inside your sweatpants. Those are up too high. Holy shit. If I could I have a couple, I could get the neckband so it tight around my neck. Me running through a Target screaming and running at you. That's nightmare fuel. Like
You'll get no disagreement.
you
from
turn
me.
the corner into toiletries because you need deodorant and you see that barreling at you. Giant legs and fat mid body with a head in the middle.
Oh my God. Jesus. All right. Oh God.
I hope the Target employees into it, or the managers, and they put Ray Stevens the streak on the intercom. Woo!
The fastest thing on 2 feet. Oh God.
Boogada, boogada. And instead of like a fun like Keystone Cops, just a fucking panic cop shoots me in the chest. Somebody turn off Ray Stevens. This is no longer fun.
Who even thought of that? Is he even on Spotify? Or does someone have a Ray Stevens CD laying around?
For moments like these.
God. My grandma, of all people, was a huge Ray Stevens fan.
That checks out.
Yeah, you think that's
fun.
That's who's buying Ray Stevens?
Yeah, that's because it's racy but not gross.
Yes,
yeah.
Good. That's a good way to put that.
Yep, it's
Is
fun.
Ray Stevens regional?
Nope, and national.
National.
I think it's
Okay.
Ray Stevens. I think he attempted to make it as like a normal country or gospel or something because he was like 40 the first time he recorded a funny album.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a later in his career thing.
Is Ray Stevens like Larry the Cable Guy? You can find his pre-horseshit stuff.
I honestly think you can. Yeah, I think you can find his straight shit. You know, like the country
Someone
sounds
out
of
there,
Ray Stevens.
Stevens was their wedding song,
Yeah.
and it was the streak.
Yeah, just bummed that he made this. He sold out.
It always cracked me up, like when people pick bad wedding songs. Like out here, I don't know what it is. It's fucking Cowboys is what it is. But where I came from, I think I went to half a dozen weddings in a row. Everybody's fucking wedding song was "The Dance" by Garth Brooks, and it's like not a one of you have listened to those lyrics.
That's a bummer song.
That's a huge bummer song. That's a song about like I'm sure glad it didn't work out.
Yep.
That's what.
Yeah,
that
it's like,
song's
you know,
about.
upon retrospect, this is all. I'm glad all this happened.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. One I remember. I don't even know so much from weddings I was in, but just weddings I was at. Still the one, Shania Twain. And it's a good wedding song.
Yeah, that's a good wedding song. Yeah.
God. There's another, one that popped up a lot about 20 fucking years ago. Arms Wide Open. Creed. Because, you think about it the way it can be. You can slow dance to Arms Wide Open.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. I have a friend who dated. He's married to her now. That was their couple. They didn't dance to it, but that was like dating.
Was their song.
I like this song. This is fun. I like
gross.
this. Yeah.
I've definitely been to a wedding where their song was "Heaven" by Warrant. That's a good.
Oh, really?
As a huge Warrant mark, I'm pretty into that.
You can slow dance to that.
Yeah, I'll do it right now with myself. Don't think I won't.
That's Patreon content.
Doing that thing where you like hug yourself real tight so it looks like somebody else's hands on your back as if I have the shoulder mobility.
Yeah, I'm just
to do
going to
that.
say, we've discussed this. It's me ratchet strapping. We could green screen this out. Me painting ratchet straps green. As you're clearly turning purple in the face.
we
gotta hurry.
We gotta wrap this up.
We should have painted them first.
Why would we do it like this? We fucked up, Nathan.
You get an orthopedic surgery 7 months later, no views.
My fucking shoulders going out sounding like gunshots.
You can't. Your health insurance doesn't cover shoulder surgery, so you just have no shoulders.
Brother, like I got health insurance. Come on, bud.
Elbow to torso.
Oh God, T-Rexing it out here with no shoulders.
He has to tape a sub sandwich to the wall and eat it off the wall.
I bet I could do that. I bet if you duct taped a fucking Jimmy John's to that wall,
Oh
I
man,
could
the
eat
challenge, because you'd have to think you have to take off each edge because you don't want one side to get too heavy and fall on the ground.
Well, depends on how you're taping. Are you is the sandwich parallel to the floor, or are you taping vertically? Or I suppose it's got to be to the floor, otherwise it's going to fall apart, right?
I think so. Yeah, you're right.
In my head, the very first thing that popped into my head was you're just taping one end so it sticks off the wall like a sex toy.
No, yeah.
And I'm
It's
trying
against
to
the, And I'm picturing a very non-caring about her job home health aide is taking care of this for you. How you doing, buddy? Doesn't even listen to you, like.
I bet I could, like, you're probably going to drop a little lettuce, but that's going to happen if you're fucking eating it proper.
I was just going to say, I drop a third of the lettuce.
Yeah.
Many a time I've ate a sandwich in my car and thrown lettuce out the window.
I'm usually pretty good about keeping it together in my car. Like, because there was a time in my life I ate in my car a lot. I bet 60% of my meals were eaten in my car there for a while. But, like, I'm pretty good about death gripping a sandwich in such a way that I ain't losing anything.
What I've learned is sometimes you got to give it a thumb action and shove the meat and the guts back up into it. Because sometimes you're just chomping away and it just keeps pushing out the end.
Sliding.
You're just fucking prolapsing your Sammy. You just got to stick it back up in there.
I'm good about, like, I'm holding on that end, the far end, and really death gripping it. What happens then is you're going to get some slipping out the side, but every couple of bites, then you hold it side saddle.
You do a nibble. You fucking
give it a little
John
typewriter.
Popper it is what you do. Just
you John Popper it a little, and then you get back on your proper shit from the end.
God, that's smart thinking.
Yeah.
You grip the butt.
Yeah, all about getting the butt.
Yeah.
Welcome to America's Barley Basket, episode 101, where we get the butt.
We grip butts.
There's a T-shirt.
with your hand held up in that fucking sandwich death grip.
It's like Baron von Raschke's The Claw, but for a sandwich or butt.
So the Simpsons.
Well, brother,
Jesus, we got deep in, man.
About.
God,
we had all this fanfare last week. Ooh, episode 100. You know what? We're just back to fucking business.
Back to the lab.
Honeymoon's over.
Yeah.
Back to the lab again, yo. This old rap shit.
We got another 100 in us.
Fucking A, we're gonna have to.
You think? Oh yeah. Do you think we're gonna have to pause before we get to the next 100? Just think, we will. We'll get close.
We will for sure. We're going to catch the show.
Yeah.
At this rate,
we'll catch the show before episode 200 is what I meant. Yeah.
We're going to catch this show in about a year-ish.
So 160 maybe.
Right.
Yep.
And then we're going to have some off-mic conversations about, well, fucking now what do we do?
A believer is just like when there's an Atlanta Braves rain out, we just play audio of like 3 hours of Little Rascals. So like public domain show.
Public domain television shows. That's pretty funny.
Or it's like just like every 45 minutes there's just like an interstitial of us talking like in 3 weeks you will see. But in the meantime, enjoy Chubbs taking an apple pie off of a window. So it's way too hot to eat, but Chubbs is so hungry.
Oh, if it's too hot for your hands, don't put it in your mouth,
I
Chubbs.
think a friend of mine just recently read about Chubbs. He was 4'10" and 270 pounds. He had like the opposite of Andre the Giant disease. He was fat and way too short. He died when he's like 20. If you want to ruin a night, read the wiki pages for every Little Rascal.
Ugh.
It's just one had a good life. Just
That dog is dead for sure.
someone fucking made a snuff film with that dog. Yeah. Oh my God. All of them was just heartbreak. Fuck. I think it was Chubbs. I think that's what they called that guy. Yeah. Oh boy. We can't go down that road because it's too legit sad.
It's too too real.
It is too real.
Why don't we go down the road of talking about the Simpsons?
They're not even real people. They can die.
I thought you meant the Little Rascals.
Yeah.
Yes, they for sure can, and probably
Did
have. Yeah.
in painful ways.
Oh boy. Little Rascals had that weird resurgence when they had the movie.
Oh really?
Remember the movie from
yeah.
like the
Yeah.
90s?
Yeah, I remember that.
What a weird time for that to come back. Why was that a thing? Who was like, you know what we need is a Little Rascals movie?
50 years after the fact. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Do you think there was that idea of mischievous kid live action movie was just a popular
We had Dennis the Menace.
and then tons of just forgettable Blank Check, Little Big League.
I'm sorry if you're going to call Blank Check forgettable.
Angels in the
You and I
Outfield,
are
Three
gonna-
Ninjas, but just kind of like we're kids, we're playing by our own rules.
Yeah.
And Little Rascals are like,
First Kid with
Yep.
with Sinbad.
yep, a lot of that kind of stuff
God, those
was.
Three Ninja movies, I loved those fucking movies
You see,
so much.
you were the right age for all that stuff. I
Oh,
was just,
absolutely.
I was just a little too old.
Yeah, Little Giants.
Yep.
Rick Moranis.
Big
Rookie of the
Green.
Year and Little Big League.
Heavyweights.
Heavyweights, yeah.
Heavyweights hit too close to home. I always thought it would for me.
I never watched it. No.
It's just like too much. There's not enough trigger warnings.
I bet if you watched Heavyweights again, having never seen it, I bet if you watched it today, you'd be like, what the fuck? They put this out?
Yeah, right? Yeah. Or it's like, those kids aren't even fat. That kid's 1994 fat. That's 2022 normal kid.
He's not full of custard at all.
Like, my brother plays basketball, and his little kids do. I see other kids in the crowd sometimes, just they're there to watch the little brother. I was an oddity for how big I was at that age. Now I'm one of every 3 kids as fatter than I was. It's like, these kids are going to weigh 1,700 pounds.
Just fucking market
Like fucking
steers.
2.5 Happy Humphreys stuck together.
Well, I hate to break it to you how the future's going to go, but good because we're going to have to eat them. So
That's what we got going for us.
fatten them up now. Oh, before we go any further, I have to mention to you specifically that yes, the movie theater in Mott, North Dakota is still open.
Good.
Yeah, I knew you would want to know.
Been troubled by that. I'm happy to hear.
Yeah, you can finally rest now
Yes.
this week.
Time to die.
Your watch is over, so we can go see a movie in Mott if we want.
If you're sitting in the Scorpion Bar in Mott, North Dakota, please reach out. We'd love to do comedy there.
We would love to so much.
We got to get Hettinger County off the list.
Oh God. Someday.
You know what we don't have to get off the list?
What's that?
Episode 11 of season 23 of The Simpsons, because we watched it, baby.
We did, and now we're doing it.
The Doshel Network, because that's a noise Homer makes. For those who've never heard of The Simpsons.
Yep, that's. Yes, thank you. That's the reference. God, I was taking a drink and now I'm dying.
This episode follows a format they use about once or twice a season, where you are at the end of the action of the episode, the end of the story arc, and then you're getting a replay of what led to that, because it starts. Lisa's on trial. Good lawyer guy, blue-haired lawyer is grilling her on the stage or on the stand. It's just X Factor. Lisa's spinning plates.
I'm the witness. Make 'em dance, make 'em sing.
Oh my God! I'm trying to think of the. I'm stuck now with the fucking Warner Brothers. On with the show. This is it.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey.
Hello, my ragtime
Ragtime
gal. Simpsons. So Lisa, we don't even really. I had to rewind. Like, do we know why? But nope. That's the fun of it. Why is she on trial?
Yep.
So now it's Lisa says that it all starts back when, and the flashback starts with the Simpsons at some kind of like fancy outdoor mall.
Yep.
Where it's like. And that is a thing major cities have. I was very confused by it the first time I saw it.
Yeah, the
It's like,
fancy mall.
it's like, why don't put a fucking roof on this shit? You know, like, I gotta spend all this money to get hailed on.
Right. Well, also, not everyone has winters that will murder
That's true.
you
That is
like
very
we
true.
do.
Yep.
So,
Very good point. So that starts with them going to the fancy outdoor mall. We get Homer, just a joke of him parking poorly. Do you think the Simpsons are ever going to get new cars? Or is that a gag? Because, I
I
mean,
never thought of that. I bet not.
they're driving early 80s sedan and station
Right.
wagons.
I bet not.
Yeah. It'd be so jarring.
Like, we had that one episode, fucking, this all bleeds together, so I couldn't tell you how many seasons ago it was, but where Homer got that loaner and didn't want to give it back because it was a new
Yep.
car that had all the bells and whistles.
All the gizmos,
And
yep.
then eventually at the end, he, like, missed his car because he has an emotional attachment
right.
to it. I bet they never get a new cars.
It feels like that's something, if I saw it in the corner of my eye in a commercial of The Simpsons, I'd pick up on it.
Sure, yeah.
Yep.
I could see him maybe doing another one where they buy a new car and hate it or something
Yeah.
and get rid. Like, I could see him touching on it.
Yeah.
But I bet the car is never replaced.
Yeah,
Either of them.
It'd be weird without them.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It'd be like them getting a new house. It'd be
Yeah.
really
Think of how
weird.
fucking weird that would
That
be.
would be so
if they just
weird.
moved one of these seasons.
So they're not really going to the mall, I don't think, for a purpose, but Marge has a ton of gift cards.
Yeah.
And she has the fucking line, I was holding on to these as investments. Which
Unbelievable.
is so fucking good. Because she has to part with some of them because they're businesses that no longer exist.
Yep. I've had that happen. Like, oh, I have a gift card for this place. And by the time I remember that I have a gift card for this place,
Gone.
that place is gone.
No shit, yeah.
I've run into that very thing.
And on the list, like, they show the gift cards tumbling into the garbage.
Yeah.
And one is supposed to be Circuit City and like Lennon's and such, or whatever
Yeah.
that place was called, Lennon's
Yep.
and things.
Linens and things.
But then Burns and Noble.
I liked Burns and Noble.
But Barnes and Noble's still open.
Right.
Yeah, the other ones are closed.
But it was a fun joke
Yeah,
to make.
yeah.
I would go to Burns and Noble. I
Yeah.
like Burns.
Here's where the story kind of goes. They each get a card for their whatever you want to go check out.
Yeah.
So we get some gags with, this and that, and like where they're all going for their different things. Is Homer,
Holy shit.
is this when he gets the Cinnabon?
Oh my God.
Yeah. Close the blinds.
He just puts his face down by that giant cinnamon roll,
Yeah.
hands the squeaky voice teen his card, and is just like, unroll it into my mouth until this card is empty. And close the blinds. He closes the blinds and flips it.
The closed.
And it's
Yeah.
like they show the roll unrolling or unspurling into his mouth, and he's just
So ridiculous.
just guck pelicaning this fucking giant cinnamon roll. Holy shit. Also, I fucking love Cinnabon.
Yeah,
I
Cinnabon,
love
yeah.
a cinnamon roll.
I'm a cinnamon roll guy.
Yeah.
Over a caramel roll.
I can't follow you that. I would take a caramel roll over a cinnamon roll, but
White frosting, that whatever that
icing.
icing is.
Yeah.
I'm a
That's
sucker
what
for that
puts it
shit.
over the top.
Yep.
I would take caramel over icing, though. Yeah.
I mean, either way, you're living good.
Right. I'm not going to complain either way, but it's, man, do I love a fucking roll.
I think Lisa originally goes into just like a Lego shop.
Yeah.
And the joke is that, oh, can I just get plain blocks? Nope. And if you do, you'll get sued.
Yeah.
Because they think, well, I'll just buy this and make my own thing. It's like, no, that can't happen.
We do all the imagination for you.
But where the storyline really gets going is she goes out of the store and is like in the promenade, and the twin girls are there.
Yep.
And Lisa's just basically reminded that she's unpopular.
Yeah. She just wants to hang out with them.
Yeah,
and
they're such
they're
fucking
shitty.
jerks.
Fuck them twins.
Yeah.
Boy,
Yeah,
there's a
that's
fucking nightmare sequence with them twins later in
Yep.
this batch.
And that's where my note comes up. It's screw those. That's mine says screw those twins, Lisa, because I'm trying to get that TV 13 rating or whatever.
Oh,
it is.
right.
Yep.
Yeah, you're trying to get the clean tag on this podcast, not explicit.
So Lisa's just down in the dumps and she wants more friends, and friends are hard to get friends. And eventually she kind of enlists the other friendless dorks dorks in her
Yep.
grade school. We get Martin and Database. I think Millhouse is there.
Yeah.
And she decides to start an online social media thing.
She decides to make Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is like, this feels really like we got to have a Facebook episode kind
Yep.
of.
I thought the same thing.
And they call it Spring Face is the name of it.
It's a dumb name.
Yep.
But it's funny because it's dumb. It's funny because it's bad.
Yeah. So we get a lot of just them working on it, and we just see as it spreads through
Yeah.
through Springfield.
Everyone on it all the time.
There's a fucking line. We're in the school. I think it's Skinner and Chalmers. When Skinner mentions that they trade, there's a hornet's nest in the gym that they want to get rid of. It's like, we trade the hornet honey for chalk and yardsticks. And was it the hornets make honey? Is it any good? He's like, better than wasp honey.
Not as good as bee honey.
Yeah,
Yep.
he makes it clearly not as good as bee honey. Oh my God, I fucking laughed at that.
That is a fun bit. Yeah.
And there's another, I might be jumping ahead, but it was one of that and the first one we just discussed in this, my two biggest laughs. It was like Lisa, like I created a social network empire, and Homer leans over. I created the person that created a social network empire, and fucking Grandpa just wheels it. I created an alcoholic hippo. Jesus Christ, why dunk on Homer right there?
And Homer's just like, I want to see it. Like,
that
he
to
doesn't
the
get that he's talking
you have a
about it.
hippo?
And that goes for so long. That gag goes for so long.
Oh, Homer's reaction to that is so fucking good.
God, that's funny.
Let me see. No. Oh, God damn it. I fucking... And the storyline for this was meh, but yeah, there's a few fucking good gags in it. So what we see is what happens in social media is the fucking people get wrapped up in it, but in typical Springfieldian fashion, it leads to Springfield collapsing like fucking buses are driving through businesses.
Everything's on fire.
Yeah, everything's burning. And Lisa just realizes like, oh my God, what has my creation done?
Yeah.
And what she ends up doing, and then she also kind of, I think more so like for her sake, she just sees that like, social media friends, 1,000 social media friends aren't the equivalent of one flesh and blood friend.
Right, because she's still lonely at the end of all this.
Yeah. So what she does is she kind of just pulls the plug on Springface.
Yeah.
And goes out and plays. For some reason, the shitty girls are now nice to her, and they're outside her window. Hey, you want to go play? And that's kind of like. Because it's kind of like, it just feels forced. Like, fuck, it feels like a bunch of middle-aged men, right? I can't believe this.
This Facebook.
Kids should be out playing soccer.
Make it a Lisa episode.
Yep.
Yeah,
So it was cut and paste.
Couple of good laughs, but the whole thing just felt so obligatory. It felt like, well, we have to do a Facebook one.
And if it would have ended there, I'd be like, "Oh, this was forgettable."
And then it's even more baffling because I don't have a clue what's going on for the rest of this episode.
The episode wraps up. It's done, and then we cut to it's a river, and it's a rowing competition at whatever Olympics,
2012 London Olympics,
and it's fucking Patty and Selma going against the Winklevoss twins, who were the twins that started Facebook with Ding Dong Zuckerberg.
Okay.
And they're the ones that got fucked over by Zuckerberg. And that's a big part of the movie is him fucking all of his buddies over
Okay,
at
I've
Harvard.
never seen the movie.
Yep. And it's them them beating them, like, because you guys are spending too much time complaining or whatever. It's like, well, they kind of got fucked.
Why are they at the Olympics? Why are they?
Oh, they were
rowing?
competitive rowers.
Okay.
They were competitive rowers at Harvard.
And twin brothers?
Yeah, and twin brothers. Yeah. And then they start making
And then
out.
they make out? What is
so fucking forced.
baffling?
And if it ended there, I'd be peculiar end of the episode. But God damn it, that's not all.
That isn't all.
Then we get, it's called The Show's Too Short story.
Yep. Well, and they act like this is a regular thing. Like, welcome to another The Simpsons, The Show's Too Short story.
Yep. And it's very weirdly animated by an animator named like Dark Stanley. He has goes by a nom de plume.
What? That's not his real name?
Yep. and you think it's bizarre. It has showed up once before. The same guy animated a short section of an episode, I don't know, fucking 10 seasons ago. I didn't write it down what season, but it was an episode called Yokel Chords. There's a part of that where it's a remembering something that happened in the past. The same guy or at least they animated it in the same style. Where like Bart's got like the black eyes.
Yeah.
Yep. And it's basically it's just a parable to not be a shitty kid being told by Skinner to the other kids.
Yeah, it feels like a little short story. You know what? Like it. You know what I mean? But it felt like a reference I wasn't getting the whole time.
Nope. There's nothing you're not getting. It's just Yeah.
Okay.
I almost appreciate it because of how fucking oddball it is, but
it's wild to me that like you did a whole episode with the long intro, like the full intro, where we see every bit of the intro because they cut it up different ways depending on time. With a long couch gag, the Letterman couch gag, and then did the whole episode, and then did that weird tag at the end with the rowing thing, and then still had leftover time. Like, why is this even an episode if it's this short?
Yeah, it's something. And I wonder if we'll ever see it again. Something, because this is bizarre.
Like, I'd be fine with it because I liked that thing, that weird animation at the end. It had kind of a like Coraline kind of vibe to it that I liked.
But bizarre.
It was weird.
Yeah.
Outside of a couple good lines of dialogue, like that thing with Abe and Homer.
Yeah.
That moment. Like, there were a couple good laughs in this episode, but I did not like this episode.
Yeah. Forgettable.
Yeah, super forgettable. Like I said,
forced.
Obligatory. Yep.
There's another one coming up in this batch that has a little bit of that vibe, maybe not as bad, but we'll get to that.
Let's see if it's this one.
Ooh, segues.
It's episode 12, Moe Goes From Rags to Riches. We're having a town hall at Moe's because the actual town hall is getting fumigated. And Moe doesn't have any friends except his best friend, the bar rag.
Such a bit like one thing we get to, like, why are they all there again? The whole town?
There's a town hall because town hall's being fumigated.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Remember how I said that 40 seconds ago?
I was like, but is what they're discussing not even relevant? It's just to get them in the bar.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I was thinking. It's like, is there something I missed? Why they're talking? But yeah, you're right. It's just them to party and show that. And we get fucking Lionel Richie's all night long.
Yeah.
A good song.
It's
Oh,
okay.
really? Oh, I'm a fan.
I'm not a Lionel Richie
And
guy.
I liked that Lionel Richie's just featured in the background.
Yeah, in the
but
background.
no speaking lines.
Nope.
Yeah,
Just Lionel Richie.
chilling.
He was probably on American Idol at this point, right?
Went to Fox property
Yep.
back then. Yeah.
I don't know. That song screams Lionel Richie's trying to be Prince.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I hear that. That's how it hits my ear. Yeah, I'm not a Lionel Richie guy.
And we go from an episode that is just like, paint by numbers, to one of the most baffling, bizarre plot structures.
This is a fucking esoteric episode. This episode is genuinely kind of baffling.
Yeah.
Like,
I can't even say if it's good or bad. It's just,
I can't tell either.
it's its own thing.
God, I'm glad we're on the same page in this because I said but when credits rolled on this, I was like, the fuck
Yeah.
was
That
this?
was it, huh? That's what we're doing?
I'll be
Okay.
damned. So Moe's best friend is the bar rag. That's going to come back big time.
Yeah.
Fucking Bart says something shitty to Milhouse, and Milhouse dumps him in the bar. Good for him. Milhouse finally was like, nope, that one was a bridge too far, Bart.
There's a fucking line because Lisa's there. Lisa takes Milhouse aside. It's like, her line is, even a kid with a Finding Nemo back brace has some pride.
That's so funny.
And I think it's crazy that an episode about a talking bar rag that is 2,000 years old, they still shoehorn in a normal side story.
A weird B story.
Just like, that could fit in any other episode.
Yep. Well, this is what they did.
Yeah.
It's a weird one. So we get the rag. The rag is sentient, and it's voiced by Jeremy Irons.
Okay, that's who that is.
Who
Okay.
I love Jeremy Irons' voice. Jeremy Irons ranks up there with the Sam Elliott's and the fucking
James Earl Joneses.
James Earl Joneses, like the I just want to hear you talk, you know? And it's the rag is sentient, and it has a history lesson of where it came from. We start off in France in the Dark Ages, and as soon as this part started, like, I was like, oh, this is going to be a 3-part Simpsons anthology episode.
That would make sense.
Loosely tied together by this rag.
Yep.
And in a way, it sort of is, but not really.
Not. Yep.
It's a weird one.
I almost appreciate them keeping us on our toes.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a hard song to dance to.
Way to throw me a fucking curveball 23 seasons in. It's a hard song to dance to. Yep. It's tough to tap your foot to Tool. I get it. Is this 11-4 time? What is happening? I'm going to shit my pants when I listen to this.
It's only found in like Cambodian street music.
So we get the family. They're in France. They're poor serfs. Homer is constantly off fighting in wars. I don't know anything about French history, so I'm going to miss any specific jokes in this bit. I love history, but not. This is like before the period of history I like, so I don't know much about it.
Yep. This is a dead spot for me, too.
Burns shows up, and he is the Duke of Springfield, and he commissions Marge to make him a tapestry of all the great things that he's done and is doing. On his way, this is a fucking bonkers episode.
Yeah.
On his way out the door, the sheep are blocking his path, and he's like, well, I could take 6 steps that way, but and he murders all the sheep.
Yeah.
And the murdered sheep produce the demon wool because they've been killed unjustly, and the wool goes into the loom that Marge is working on, and she gets possessed by the demon wool.
She just works endlessly for decades. Yeah.
She works endlessly at the loom, making the tapestry for Mr. Burns. Okay, all right, sure.
We're there.
We're in it. It's decades later. Burns comes back to get his tapestry, and it wasn't what he was expecting, but he loves it, and burns down their house or cottage, whatever. And then on his way back to the castle, falls off his horse off a cliff. The tapestry catches on a tree branch and hangs himself accidentally.
Where the townsfolk come to desecrate his corpse.
Yep, by treating him like a piñata and just wail on him. And then, we get Jeremy Irons narrating this the whole time. The bar rag started as the tapestry. This is the origin of the bar rag. He's like, and then I was moved to a cathedral. So now we're at a cathedral in what I assume is supposed to be England. This would have been, 600 to 800 AD when the Vikings are raiding English monasteries. So the Vikings show up, and this is like all of these Simpsons characters in these roles. Like Quincy was there, Burns and Smithers were there last time. This is Homer and a group of Vikings raiding the cathedral. I love the gag. They're using Homer as the battering ram, but they can't beat the door down. The door is too thick. So instead they just take a few steps to the side and use his head to break down the stone wall of the cathedral. That's funny.
Yeah.
Homer finds the tapestry and eats some of it. And then this might have been a commercial break, but the next thing we see is Bart trying to apologize to Milhouse, and Milhouse not having
good
it.
for Milhouse.
I was really on Milhouse's side all throughout this weird bee story.
Standing up for himself.
So we get back to Jeremy Irons, the bar rag. I believe Raggy is that character's name, actually.
Oh, really?
I think that's what Mo calls him.
You're right.
So this is a later period in history. He's traded to the Persians, and he's traded to a Persian prince, king, I think.
Yep.
This is another blind spot of history for me. The king has a pit full of wives because he gets bored with them and throws them in a pit. And then Lisa, the prince, by the way, or king, whatever, is played by Nelson. And then Lisa comes in as his new wife, and he demands entertainment, and she tells him the story of Ali Baba and the 40 Thieves.
Yeah.
A story which it didn't dawn on me until watching this. I don't have a clue what that story is.
No idea.
And the phrase, the words Ali Baba and the 40 Thieves.
Mentioned in an early Beastie Boys song.
Oh, yeah?
Ali Baba and the 40 Thieves. It just keeps building. That's pretty tight.
I don't like the Beastie Boys. I realize that makes me an outlier for white men of my age, but I don't get it.
Someday.
No, I doubt it.
It's going to hit you like a lightning bolt.
Outside of Intergalactic, I love that song. Don't like any of the rest of it. Not a fan.
Yep. Yeah.
It's corny. I think it's corny.
I can see, especially the early stuff, I can see that.
It's all corny.
That's
other than
unforgivable.
Intergalactic, and I just like the robot voice. Maybe I'm an idiot. It's a good beat in that song too. Musically, that song is good. As soon as those guys start talking, though, I'm like, not on board.
This is the final episode. I hope you all enjoy it.
Oh, we're for sure getting emails. I'm for sure getting a couple of text messages
You know
from a couple of my boys. Yeah, like, it's going to be a rough one. It's going to be a long week for Marlon.
Oh, going back to Bart showing up and trying to get Milhouse back on his side, loving how Milhouse still sleeps with that fucking frilly-ass dog. It's even name dropped.
Right. Yep. Puppy Goo Goo.
Puppy Goo Goo.
Yeah. The dog he was tongue kissing not that horribly long ago.
Yeah.
Gross. So Lisa tells Nelson the story of Alibaba and the 40 Thieves for 1,000 nights.
Yeah.
Is that maybe that's part of the tale?
Must be.
I don't know.
Or
It
something
must
was
be.
1,000 nights. Yeah.
Not a clue. And while she's telling him the story, when he falls asleep, she frees the wives out of the pit, and then they all kill Nelson.
Yeah.
And now the tapestry ends up in Spain during not the Inquisition, but sometime.
Yeah.
I don't know. They have guns.
Yep.
So, and the weird pointy helmets.
Yeah, if
They're
that'd
not
be-
pointy, but they're wedge shaped like a faux hawk, and then tight brims up on the
I don't know if
sides.
that would be their first civil war. I know Spain's had a lot of them.
Maybe. I don't know shit about Spain.
You don't read any, 1,300 Spanish history books,
No,
tomes.
no, I really should apparently. So he's in Spain. He's a blindfold for a man being executed, and then he's kind of this whole time the rag is kind of down on his luck, like how his life has kind of gone to shit the whole time.
Very sad rag.
Yeah, like he started as something grand, but very quickly it all goes downhill. But there's a bright spot here where he is used by Michelangelo to paint the Sistine Chapel ceiling. We get back to our B story. Bart comes to Milhouse's room, like in the room, like he just shows up in his bedroom, creepy.
Yep.
Like begs him to take him back. He has this nice heartfelt little tiny note, and Milhouse is like, Lisa write that for you, and she pops her head out from behind him like, yeah, I did. Milhouse shuts him down again, takes his glasses off and puts them on the nightstand, and Bart's like, come on, Milhouse, and Milhouse is like, the glasses are off, and rolls back over. Totally a thing.
Yep.
Like,
oh my God.
once your glasses are off, you're going to fucking bed.
Yeah.
I get that. So then we go to the rag ends up in the New World as the Confederate flag. It is sewn into a piece of the Confederate flag, and that doesn't go well, of course, for the rag flag. Flag rag. And then it gets worse because the next time it's in the Great Depression, and it's Marge cooking rag soup for the family. All they can afford is rag soup. And Homer's like, he takes a sip and goes, oh, it needs flavor. And he puts a fucking foot up above the pot and cuts a fucking bunion into the pot. Oh, God. And then the next time we see him, he's on he's the white flag on somebody who's marching up to Everest, who's trying to climb Mount Everest.
Yeah.
And I like that, like, he's not on a trip that makes it. He's on a trip that the guy dies.
Which one of the trippiest things about Mount Everest is the fact that you climb Mount Everest, you're going to walk past
So many dead people.
30 corpses.
So many
To the
dead
point they
people.
become landmarks.
Yeah.
It's like
oh, you
Red
made
Shoes.
It, you made it to Blue Shirt guy.
Yep, I think Red Shoes is one of the big ones. Oh. Because all you see is just like from the knees up in the boots. Red boots, yeah. Yeah, you got the red boots. Can't buy red boots. That's a good time if you make it there tonight. Like,
Duh, if you made it all the way to Red Boots, you may as well go the rest of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Such a weird thing.
I've never understood, but like I don't like cold, you know. But it makes sense that sure that would be somebody's thing that they want to accomplish. Fucking most people can't fathom wanting to be a stand-up comic. So like I'm not saying it's 1-to-1, but I get the mentality.
Yeah, we all got our thing.
We all got our thing. Don't kink shame people's Everest climbings. And then a fucking Yeti, a straight up abominable snowman Yeti comes and takes the rag off of the dead body and gives it to its son, which is Mo.
Yeah.
Mo is a Yeti.
Yeah, so fucking dumb.
What the fuck? And then we're kind of caught up. And Mo is like cuddling with the rag like it's his binky. And then we get Milhouse. Bart is disheveled now. Bart is like crispy around all edges because he's been sleeping in the bushes outside Milhouse's house all night. And then he's like, "Come on, I'll do anything." And he's like, "Well, would you let me punch you?" "Yeah, of course." "Would you let me let someone else punch you?" "Yeah, I guess. Okay." And that's when Dedrick Tatum pulls up, who we haven't seen in a long time, and we see twice this batch. He pulls up and fucking punches Bart, and then Milhouse, it's like you flipped a switch. He's fine. He's completely back to being Milhouse again.
And I like how Bart got punched by a heavyweight boxer, and we just see him rubbing his arm because it's sore.
Just like, that's funny. So we see Mo like cuddling with his rag, and then we see someone reach in and take it. And the rag like talking the whole time to itself. We see it in a dryer, and he's like, "Oh God, oh hot, oh make it stop." I like that.
He's repeating something. Is it "kill me"?
Kill me. Yes, I think that's it.
Kill me. Kill me.
That's funny. He's like, "Oh, this is the worst it can get." I think even when it gets taken from Mo, it's like, "Oh, I dread to know what could be worse than you, Mo." And it's Marge. Marge has it. Marge has Raggy. And she folds it and puts it in with the rest of the laundry, and that's when Mo comes kind of crashing through the door like, "Have you seen my..." And he sees it, and Marge explains like, "Yeah, I saw you sleeping with it because I left my purse there last night, and then when I came to get it, I saw you cuddling with it, and it stinks like it's a little ripe, so I thought I'd run it through the wash for you." And this is where it comes back around to Mo. It kind of started with Mo doesn't have any friends, so his only friend is this rag. But Marge then explains, like, "Yeah, we're your friends, Mo." And
you're surrounded by your friends.
Yeah, and Mo is super heartfelt. And then in what I thought was a weird turn is like, "Well, I don't need you anymore," and throws the rag out the window. I was like, boy, he moves on quick. And Santa's Little Helper picks it up, and the rag is just like, "Oh God, here we go. This is it." But then Santa's Little Helper just kind of cuddles with it, and the rag is super happy because it has a friend who's a dog.
And one time does Maggie come by and try to take it?
Yep, then Maggie comes by and tries to take it, and the rag immediately is like, "Well, good times never last, I guess." But then like Maggie leaves, and then it's right back to cuddling, and the rag is happy again. This is the strangest episode of The Simpsons I've ever seen.
So, I think, and what makes it so strange is the fact that there's that goddamn sliver of a B story.
Yeah, this would be way less weird if it were just the rag and these like history jokes. Because this doesn't follow the same structure, but it does feel like one of those like 3-story anthology episodes.
Simpsons reenact,
Simpsons do history, you know? Like, I wouldn't doubt if somewhere in this episode's development that it was one of those at some point. But yeah, that weird B story.
Yeah.
I think if you like put a gun to my head and made me say yay or nay, I don't think I like this episode.
God, yeah, I'm pretty on the fence with it.
But it's like when you eat a really weird or exotic food and you're like, "I don't like how that tastes, but kudos on you for putting those flavors together.
I hope you made plenty of money off this.
I respect how different this is, but it is not for me." But I like history and Jeremy Irons. So like,
that's a good
It
cast.
had plenty of good too.
Yeah. I think
It's a weird one.
I think I might lean towards like purely on the fucking uniqueness of it. But
Yeah, it's
not a lot of laughs.
No, not at all. Well, some of that Milhouse stuff was fun.
Yeah.
And some of the, like any of those history ones, it's fun to see, like,
A little bit of sarcasm or,
and like the Simpsons cast as
Yeah.
different people, like Nelson as the greedy, selfish boy prince
Yeah.
is fun. Like, it was an oddball.
Yeah.
But I think at the end of the day, sure, yeah, that was all right.
Yeah. It'll keep me engaged. An oddball episode will almost always keep me engaged.
Right. It fucking certainly burned up a shit ton of time talking about it on a podcast
Yeah.
because we're back to normal. I got a weird one
Yeah.
to recap.
Right? Yeah. Finally.
Yeah, the universe is right again.
Our next episode is episode 13. The Daughter Also Rises.
Get it? Because it's usually the sun also rises, but it's sun with a U.
Fun.
I actually, when I saw that title, I was like, okay, all right.
I gotcha.
I get it.
Tip of the hat.
Yeah.
Well played. We get a pretty good couch gag where it's a build up for the 500th episode. It's like, I think it's Lisa, of course. Like, well, I looked into it. This is actually episode 499.
Yeah.
And Mo was like, well, you're not getting this the next time.
Fox ain't paying for this again. Yeah.
So that was pretty good.
That was fun.
It's Valentine's Day. Bart's got a bunch of Valentines. Milhouse has none.
Yeah.
But this is, it kind of steers almost immediately and then those two watching TV.
Yes.
And they're all about Mythbusters.
Yeah.
Like a weird show for 10-year-olds to be into. Maybe not, but
I don't know.
Yeah.
They blow a lot of shit up on that
Yeah.
show. I really like Mythbusters. Always have.
first question, Marlon, do you like Mythbusters?
There was a time, like, I don't know, let's call it 10 years ago, roundabout when this episode would have been, going on, where it's a fun show. It's a good,
a good concept.
I think it's a great concept.
I don't know if I've ever seen a episode.
Really?
Yeah.
It's fun. I think where it got is different than where it started. Like, it started with like real think myths that you had heard of.
Yeah.
But then eventually they ran out of those because this show ran like 15 seasons or
It's
something like
you
that.
could only drag Loch Ness so many times.
Right.
And not pull up a Yet or a fucking
Yeah.
Nessie.
Or like, will your phone actually cause the gas pump to explode? You know, there's only so many of those. So they ended up having to reach further and further. But I think they were fun. Like, I think those two hosts are fun. Blowing shit up is fun. The side characters, fucking pour one out for Grant Imahara, who was one of their engineers who passed away horrifically young. Yeah, I liked the Mythbusters a lot. They did a lot of fun. I think they did more than one. They did James Bond centric ones where like, could you actually get a fucking jet or a ejector seat to work in this car?
Yeah.
You know?
It's a good idea to have theme episodes like that.
Yeah, they would do movie ones. They would. I want to say there was like a pirate one where like, if you move the eye patch to the other eye, can you see in the dark? Because that's the pirate thing. Like. And yes, it turns out, is yawning contagious? Like that was a fun show.
I was always told as a kid, if someone comes at you at night with bright headlights, you close one eye. It helps maintain your night vision.
Oh, that I didn't know.
Try it sometime.
I just know that like, since you walk around with one eye covered all the time and it's constantly in darkness, that then if you go in a dark room and move the eye patch over so that this eye that's used to being in the dark, it'll see better.
Yeah, interesting.
And they like that ended up being true.
Really? Who
Like they
would've
had
guessed?
them run this obstacle course in the dark, and it's like, oh yeah, totally.
That's awesome.
That's cool. That was a fun show. And they got into a habit, especially later on, of like, oh, we already proved or disproved the myth, but we didn't really get to like, oh, will leaving a cigarette lighter on your dashboard, will that explode? And it's like, well, no. And now we have a lot of show left. So what if we put 1,000 lighters all in the car at the same time? Then will it explode? Like they ended up doing some of that shit. It was fun.
You know who else thinks it's fun?
Who's that?
Milhouse and Bart.
Okay.
Can't get enough.
Yeah.
And Marge is sick of them being layabouts, watching TV all day. So it's because you no more watching TV. And Bart's like, little does she know we have many avenues to watch it. Because it's, what is it first? The laptop?
No watching TV on the laptop. Yeah.
And then it's no watching TV on the smartphone.
Yeah.
And then it's them watching it on the fucking screen at a gas pump.
Yeah.
Just holding traffic back for 2 blocks.
I still think that's an incredibly dumb thing. Like the screen at the gas station.
Cheddar News.
Yeah.
That's what I always, it's Cheddar News is
Yeah.
the big one.
There's a
Maria Menounos. Yeah, Better Living with Maria Menounos. Like,
Yeah, I think but it's a way to make ad money, and that's what the world functions on is ad money.
looking to refresh an old pair of capris. Like, look at the men that are pumping gas near me. These men are so broken on a fundamental level. It's shocking they have pants on.
TikTok is going to add a new feature. I saw that one yesterday on Cheddar News because I was filling gas, and yeah, Cheddar News. It was the first one to pop up, and it was about a new feature TikTok was adding, and I was like, this is a dystopian thing.
Yeah.
Like, this feels like RoboCop.
I'm just glad that the guy that used to host G4 Attack of the Show got into some of that Cheddar News money.
Yeah, good on him for getting paid.
That gas pump news paycheck.
On gas stations around America.
Him and Maria Menounos.
Yeah.
Sharing an
They're the
apartment
kings
somewhere.
of it.
Get on the ground floor of gas pump entertainment.
Oh, man. It's so fucking weird.
Yeah, we live in weird times.
This is, strange and terrifying times.
So the boys are being entertained by garbage pump or gas pumps. Meanwhile, Homer is getting everything set up just right for Valentine's Day. Being a good hubby. He's all dressed up. He's got all the shit all set up. And Marge comes in. He's all fucking ready to go. And she's like, nope. You know what? I think the way she words, like, we should show each other how much we care about each other every day. We don't need to have this special day. How about you go do something for yourself?
Yeah, my gift to you is a guy's day. And do whatever you want.
My first thought is that's a trap.
I thought the same thing. I was like, so this is the episode.
Yep.
Yeah,
he wasn't supposed to do that. He was supposed to say, but and he's all excited. She's like, go do something for yourself. Woohoo! And bring Bart. Oh
yeah, that was fun. We also, we haven't touched
Bart's
on,
right there.
We haven't touched on this in like 20 seasons. He eats a flower, and if you'll remember, that's his secret shame, is that he eats flowers.
Holy shit, that's a deep cut.
That's from so long ago.
Yeah. He loves the delicious forbidden taste of flowers.
Right? What a weird personality quirk.
So him and Bart go out, and what would you call that place? Like a recreation center? There's like,
I'm sure there's a word for it, but it's there's an arcade and a batting cage and go-karts and like
mini golf.
Yeah,
all sorts of shit. Because I like when they're in the batting cages and they start having a fucking pitch machine fucking fight.
Yeah,
and Homer cranks up to high and fucking knocks Bart out. And he's kind of sad, kind of scared. So he turns into soft pitch and just lobs baseball. You all right, buddy?
Yeah, to wake him up.
So that was good.
You ever been to a batting cage?
Yeah, when I used to play softball, I would.
I'd never been.
Yep.
Should I?
You want to remind yourself that, hey, you should try to move in the wintertime. Because what I would do is I'd just be a fucking lump for 6 months, go drop 50 or $20 in the batting cage and take 60 to 80 hard swings and then be bedridden for a week because my obliques are on fire. Like, oh, dumb.
It never once occurred to me that, that's probably a decent workout.
Yeah.
To
oh my
swing
God.
a bat 100 times.
Because 95% of your bat swinging happens at an age below 13.
Sure.
You know, like you should do that as an adult. Holy fuck, you're working a lot of muscles. And if those muscles haven't been worked in half a year, they bark.
We have a place in town with batting cages. I should go.
Yeah.
I have friends who go all the time because they're super into softball, and I'm not. But
the people that bring their own bats. That's what I always do. The people that are in it to win it.
Yeah,
because they know they have like a garbage pail full of old bats. You can just take some hacks with.
I have a bat.
Oh no shit! Softball, baseball.
Okay. Wooden. Yep.
Oh shit.
Yep.
That wood league.
Yeah.
Fucking Fargo probably has town ball. This is it. You know, you're
I've never played baseball a day in my life, and I own a Louisville Slugger wooden baseball bat.
left-handed or right? You lefty or righty?
I'm a righty.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Throw right, swing right.
We got a couple months to get you ready.
For what?
God
this
damn it.
league.
Your
Yes.
neighbors watching me fucking playing pepper with you, just hitting grounders at you. Like, what is the end game? Like, what are they preparing?
These
him
two
for?
obese middle-aged men.
Me just barking at you like a drill sergeant.
Holy shit. You know what? Like, they have, like, old men's leagues. There should be fat guy leagues.
Yeah.
Specific fat guy baseball. I want fat guy basketball leagues. Nathan, we stumbled across $1 million
There you go.
idea
Yeah,
is what just happened.
People are just getting fatter.
Yeah, exactly. It's a never end. It's like being a barber. There's no end to the clients.
You've never once participated in infield chatter. Hey, better, swing, better, swing, better.
No.
We got to that part. I got to work.
I didn't know that had a name. I just know that Ferris Bueller does that.
Yeah, he does. Yeah,
And that's it.
yeah. We need a pitcher, not a belly itcher.
I mean, I know that from Bart Simpson. Like, I didn't know it was real. Yeah, never. I played like one season of T-ball when I was a young child. But outside of that, nope.
The T was intimidating.
We don't believe in baseball where I come from.
It was phallic, and you found that offensive.
No, I was too into it, so everyone else had to shut it down. Yeah.
He won't quit staring at that T.
And he's never swinging. He's just stroking the bat.
He just blew a kiss at it.
Oh, keep an eye out for fucking Doughboy baseball leagues popping up
my
across
God,
America.
Jesus. Well, copyright that tonight.
Yeah.
We gotta start, yeah.
I got to do the thing where you do, what is it? You write it and
Mail
then
it to
send
yourself.
it to yourself. Yes. I got to do that.
Get these intellectual properties.
Yeah. No one take this idea. I can hear you out there.
Yeah. Butterboy baseball.
Yeah, we got to find a good name for it for sure. Yeah.
Well, we'll barnstorm.
Well, brainstorm.
Barnstorm's baseball.
Barnstorming's a baseball thing. I know that.
We'll brainstorm, then we'll barnstorm.
Yeah.
We'll take our Butterboy baseball around the Midwest. Challenging the town's fattest people in a game. We'd have to wear like 1920s, like all wool, big baggy.
Yep. Okay. I'm on board.
Good God.
There's a minimum weight limit.
Yeah, I'm picturing you being forced to play second and have to turn a double play. Where like you grab it in one fell swoop, pirouette, and rifle it to first.
Well, I'm sorry, buddy. You're under 295. You can't be in the league.
Yeah.
I think we should raise that up a little because you can get a beefcake at 295.
Yeah, there's a Culver's across the street. So if you really care about making this team, there's avenues to do it.
The softball diamonds here in Fargo are right next to a Sonic. Like, go over there, buy yourself a bag of breakfast burritos, and take them down with some sweet tea.
Chase that down with a Sonic blast. She's watching somebody shove a fucking breakfast burrito into a large Oreo Sonic blast. Trying to make the team.
I'm training. Holy shit.
There's no shortcuts.
Oh, fat guy baseball. Here we go.
It's coming.
And then fat guy basketball is also going to be fun.
So while Bart and Homer are getting up to shenanigans at that, like, whatever outdoor rec center thing, Lisa and Marge are kind of having just like a fancy us gals dinner.
day.
Just having a nice meal.
At Luigi's, I believe.
Yep. Or wherever he's working. It's
Sure.
a Luigi-based restaurant.
Yeah.
And while there, Lisa catches the eye of some kid named Nick.
Yep.
Who really lays it on. He is too cool for school.
He's so charming.
Like I'm an intellectual, but I'm a romantic at heart.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to take risks.
Yeah, a very romantic boy.
And Lisa's very smitten with him, and it doesn't just end there. There's still a thing post Luigi's.
Yep.
Meeting up kind of clandestinely, like, because eventually it'll come out that she like has to announce her intentions. And then at one point, they're at some kind of like quilting club thing. We see the twins' mom.
I have written here, I don't know that we've ever seen her.
My note is that's a rando character I don't believe we've seen before.
I don't think so.
I found it off-putting.
Unnerving.
I did not like the twins' mom.
Or the twins in this scene.
Oh, the twins can be. I don't like to look at the twins for too long.
I think identical twins are creepy. I get I'm with that.
It's a fucking weird ass fucking thing.
Yep. It's weird that happens.
Yep.
Like, I'm sure in medieval times they set one on fire for
they'll
sure.
Have them fight. Whoever lives.
Throw two twins in a hole with a broken beer bottle, and
Yeah, them with. Or I was thinking like they have like porcupines they flail at each other or something like that. Or just like the spinal cord, skull, and antlers of an elk, like just swinging it like a morning star. 2 5-year-old twin girls.
we tie the two twins to 4 different horses, and whoever comes apart first loses.
Another set of twins destroyed.
Yeah.
So it's at this point we do get Lisa in bed, and Marge is talking to her, and Lisa just blurts out like, "I have a crush on a boy."
Yeah.
And fucking Marge, is it your father? Which, what the fuck?
What an insane question.
Is that a thing little girls do?
Fucking, I hope not.
Yeah. Like, I guess it's the only boy you're around, but like, just how Marge is ready with, is it your father? Like, and she's like, a lot of young girls have their first crush as their dad. Like, is it really?
Yeah, I don't know that I believe that. And then, as if on cue, Homer comes walking by because Bart is riding him with a donut on a string, making him chase it.
Which is very good. And Lisa explains the boy Nick and blah 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 blah. And Lisa, Marge is very cautious about things, so we just know that it's kind of hanging in the air that Lisa's all about this kid. Marge is like, be cautious, be careful.
Marge also, like, after Lisa showing up late to the quilting incident, and she gets more so as we go from here, a little cheesed that Lisa's spending so much time with this boy instead of her.
Because Bart and Homer are chumming it up hardcore in this episode.
They're homies in this episode.
Yep. Except when it comes to the Mythbusters times.
Right.
Because that now, Milhouse and Bart are junior Mythbusters.
Yeah.
And they're just
they got lab coats and everything.
Right? Yeah. They're showing off they're breaking all the myths they ever had about the school.
Yep.
It's like you touch these 2 buttons on the snack machine, you're going to get electrocuted and shit like that.
Yeah.
And then eventually what they don't see happening, who would, all the kids just become real bummed out and disillusioned. It's like, oh, so everything at school is just school?
Yeah, they destroyed every mystery about school.
So now they realize they kind of have a problem. And they make up for that problem by creating the myth of their own, because they act like they're going to break the myth. Like, hey, we'll prove it. What is it? Groundskeeper Weir Willie is just a myth.
I still think it's wild that you say weir and not where.
Yeah.
You're the only person I've ever known who says werewolf.
Werewolf.
That's insane.
You say where?
Of course, like every other person who's ever existed.
Yeah.
It's
I take from the classic.
Every time you say it, it sounds like we are wolf. Yeah. Like you're contracting the two. Werewolves.
Hey,
werewolves.
They don't have to be angry.
We're wolves. You and who? You're the only one here.
And I like how they pop the door open to expose not only is Willie fucking werewolfing it up, he has a fucked up Milhouse hanging from an ankle. They sell it.
He's like eating hard. Milhouse. Yeah.
And the kids freak the fuck out. And then Weir Willie is fucking happy enough to take part in this. He takes off all the fake hair. And then we get this thing about him like complaining that they said he was from Edinburgh when he's not.
Right.
That's a joke for people from Scotland.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's like, I don't get any of this.
That is a joke for the Scots and nobody else. It's like, they think I'm from Edinburgh. This is a horrible accent. They think I'm from Edinburgh.
There's fat bastard in it.
Yeah. I'm not even from Glasgow. I'm from some other fuck. Like, it's just weird. Yeah, I don't know. God, I wish I could do a Scottish accent.
You got time.
That'd be a good one to have in your pocket.
That might be a good like middle-aged thing. Maybe your voice will reach the proper.
Get deep into Scottish
timbre. Yeah. So Grandpa gets his fucking wrinkly mitts into this story. That's I can't remember how Lisa ends up around him. Is she at the home? She wants Grandpa's advice.
She's just visiting Grandpa.
Yep. Chit chat with Grandpa because the old Jewish old guy's there too. And she breaks down Nick and this and the love and this and that. And like Grandpa's he's a romantic at heart.
Yeah.
And it's not the Romeo and Juliet story. What story is this? Does he consider their love to be based off of?
Pyramus and Thisbe.
There we go.
Yeah, which is the Greek story that Romeo and Juliet is based on. Yeah.
Which West Side Story is based off of.
Yeah.
Because the old Jewish guy gives that line.
Romeo and Juliet sucks, and people hold it up as this love story.
Yeah.
Romeo and Juliet sucks.
Yeah, I was never a fan of like anything approaching romance in Shakespeare. Just bored me to tears.
I just never understood that one. That one's on such a pedestal.
Yeah.
Like, I can understand why people like a lot of Shakespeare, but that one, like, that's the one you have 8th graders read.
Yep.
The one.
Oh, you're right. That's the intro to Shakespeare.
The one where
usually.
2 13-year-olds bang and then kill each other.
So
like,
hot.
That's so fucking dumb. Fuck that story. Give him Macbeth. Give him a proper story.
But Grandpa,
Grandpa.
He loves it.
Sorry, I blacked out for a second on Shakespeare.
Just gripping that beer a little too tight.
Give him a Tempest. Yeah, just slowly crushing a beer can without realizing
Not even
it.
opened.
It's still half.
So Lisa's plan is just to kind of get him somewhere romantic so they can smooch. Pretty much it. That's the plan.
Under a Burberry tree? Mulberry tree?
I think you're right with Burberry. That's
Burberry?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Grampa's all about helping these two. He springs them out, gets a vehicle, hauling them out into the countryside. Is it the cops are waiting for him, I think? Because there must be like an APB out that the kids are missing.
Well, they pull him over because they got word that he had like stolen something from the old folks' home, but it's something so innocuous like a pen or something like that. Like, insane.
But Grandpa's able to kill enough time. He's an old man. He can just bellyache. And the kids are able to escape, and they go off. I think they eventually get in a canoe.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Homer and Marge and Bart find out about this, and Marge is very worried. Hey, our 8-year-olds fucking on the run. So they zoom out in the car. They find Grandpa. They pick up Grandpa so they could shake Grandpa down for some intel. And they get there, but they're too late. They're already canoeing to that island. Fucking Marge, because it's some kind of resort. It has these like water walkie shoes things. Like you can't make any traction in. Like,
I have written here, are water shoes a real thing?
I bet they are, and I bet they suck. I bet they're meant to walk across a 15-foot pool with.
Okay.
I can't imagine that they work well.
Because you look at them and you're like, no.
How would you gain momentum?
They look like they're made out of... like, what are the things that you put your torso on and then you kick? You use it when you're learning to swim.
Like they go under your arms, kind of like across your chest.
Right. Yeah. They're kind of shaped like your torso.
Almost like a thick spaghetti noodle. Yeah. Like,
we're talking about two different things.
You mean like a boogie board?
Sure.
Yeah.
If you say so.
Like a half of a ironing board size.
Sure.
Okay.
Yep. It goes from like chin to waist, and you lay on it and kick.
Yeah, you're right. We call that a boogie board.
That's as far as I got in swim lessons.
Yeah.
So
you fucking swallowed your tongue when you saw the boogie board.
Yeah, I shit in the pool one too many times, and they never let me back.
So Marge is feverishly trying to catch up to them, but they get there. But the whole time they're getting there, the bloom is falling off the Nick Rose. He's just kind of complaining about things. It's like, I don't know if we should do this. And it's it's progressive. Like as soon as they get out of the car, Lisa goes crashing through the brush like, come on. And he's like, he doesn't like how the brush scrapes on him or something. Like he lets a branch fly back and hit Lisa in the face.
Yeah. Like he progressively gets shittier.
I'm becoming a city boy. I haven't walked through the brush. It's been a long time since I've had to hold brush back so it doesn't fucking KO the person behind me.
Yeah, same here, and I have zero problem with that. Yeah. Fuck that.
So they get there, they get to the tree, and they're about to smooch, and that's when Lisa just kind of dawns on her, like, yeah, you're nice, this is okay, but you're not the special boy,
Yeah.
And he's kind of I'm glad you had that same thought. Like it was just like I just have the ability to lie to women. It's just a ridiculous lie.
For a little while. Yeah. She gets the daydream cloud of Hemingway's wives all being
Yeah.
like, "Don't do it. You think you want one of
Yeah,
those?
there's 3 more
and
of
you
me.
don't."
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
4 of us. Yeah.
yeah, because he was married 4 or 5 times.
And then Marge gets there thinking she's too late, and Lisa's, he was nice, but he's just not the boy for me.
Yeah,
And pretty much wraps up.
that's it.
Well, fine.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I like a Lisa episode. The Mythbusters, it maybe would help if I had a little more of a connection to that show. But
I really liked with the Mythbusters thing, every one that they did when Bart and Milhouse are playing Mythbusters around the school, like I liked the recurring joke that the process for breaking the myth was just have Milhouse do it.
Yeah.
Like oh, it's if you press E8 on the vending machine, you get electrocuted. And he just grabs Milhouse's finger and punches it in. Or like
the gas station, the very first one they kind of do. Yeah.
Yep. Or like they have a say her name 3 times Bloody Mary Candyman thing in the bathroom, and he just pushes Milhouse in there. Like, do it. So I liked that, but outside of that B story didn't do anything, and for me, and I don't think the A story is that good either.
Yeah. I think that they're just those stories could have held up on their own if there were laughs. There just weren't a lot of laughs.
No, not a lot of laughs, especially the A story. Like the Lisa thing is, and maybe it's supposed to be sweet and not funny, but
And a story that threadbare needs to be buoyed by a bunch of laughs.
Yep.
It's like, oof, wasn't there.
also that kid played by by known pud Michael Cera. I fucking can't stand Michael Cera.
I don't mind Michael Cera.
I get it. You're meek.
Yeah. So sometimes us meek boys, we need to rally together. meek respect meek.
You're not meek. The closest I ever got to liking him is Arrested Development.
Oh man, Youth in Revolt is good.
No, it's fucking not. Are you off your tits?
I love that
Youth
movie.
in Revolt sucks.
Oh my god.
The only I'll give you, is it Zach Galifianakis?
Oh, but that's what I'm like. Yeah,
he's good in that, but that movie is bad.
Gene Smart's his mom, and she's dating Zach. Like, how about we retire to the master's quarters, like the tiny little fucking double wide trailer they live in.
Oh god, Youth in Revolt is so bad.
He gets in a feud with some Navy guys. They disassemble his car and reassemble it in the
living room. Yeah.
And his wife, how could they do that? It would take an army. No, babe, it would take a Navy. So fucking
so
ridiculous.
I also do like. I will say I do like Michael Cera in This Is the End, where
Yeah,
he plays
piece of
Michael
shit.
Cera, but he's such an unlikable piece of
And
garbage.
Mindy Kaling's like, I bet he's got like a hairless body and a huge dick. Like, what the fuck?
I distinctly remember liking that movie less as it went on. Like the opening party scene, I remember really loving, and then by the end being like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
But the Michael Cera shit in there was funny.
Superbad's good. He's basically playing Michael Cera.
Yeah.
Man, that's a good movie.
See, Superbad is good, except when he's on the screen. Like, I'm there for Jonah Hill and McLovin.
Man, when he's singing fucking Guess Who, that's so good.
I just don't. There's something about him. He's the male Tia Leone. I just don't like his face. I don't like
I get it.
anytime he's on screen.
We all have those.
He kind of looks like Tia Leone.
Yeah.
So
I can't think of what my Tia Leone is, but they're out there.
Yep,
I would have to be reminded of them. Like, oh,
Right.
That movie is good and they're actually good, but I just
don't like him or
my
her.
first
Yeah.
brain's thought isn't to dislike that, so it's hard for me to watch it.
Exactly, because I just don't like that person. There's some people who just, boy, you got a real punchable face, and it really sits on the front of your head, and I just don't like it.
Yeah.
There's actors like that who I don't like for no reason. Episode 14 is At Long Last Leave. And this is the actual 500th episode of The Simpsons. We get a fun little banner across the front. And then what I thought was a pretty great couch gag.
Oh, very cool.
Of them showing every couch
Just the
gag.
evolution of it. Like,
Yeah, like
how many?
just a freeze frame of every couch gag. I was paying attention for it because I liked it. They do show, they show all of them, but I caught the Banksy one. They show the people in the sweatshop making the cartoon.
Oh, no shit.
Yep. And then I was like, there's no way this is all of them, but it is.
Really?
It's fucking every couch gag.
No kidding. But I bet they burned through the first 7 or 8 seasons quick, because back then there was only 3 to 4 original couch cakes per season.
Yeah, we weren't getting one every episode for sure. So I thought that too. I was like, there's no way they're doing 500 of these. But then I was like, oh, wait, there aren't 500 of them.
Yeah, I'd say it's around 200.
Yeah, because we get plenty of repeats throughout the years. But
Now that couch cake was terrific.
yeah, I liked that a lot. That was very sweet. I was like, I'll be damned. And I like that since they show them all, you see last week's and it's just Mo with the 500th episode banner and the balloons and shit. We're having a disaster preparedness drill in Springfield. Kent Brockman's talking about it on television, and the family's like, okay, let's go down to the storm shelter.
Did your town do something like this? I just had this memory. My hometown did a thing where there was a pretend big accident, just so like the high school kids, and like the drama kids would cover themselves in fake blood and go lay in a field. Just to,
that sounds like fun.
Yep, just so they what do the firemen do? What do the cops do? What do all this? Yep, they had it all planned out, just to make sure the hospital be ready to take in that many seriously wounded people. I fucking forgot that was a thing. But,
it makes sense.
Yeah, keep it. Could you imagine what it is like if you're a small town cop when things finally pop off?
That's like a whole genre of horror movies, like The Blob is that.
Yeah, oh, is it? Yeah, that makes sense.
Slither is that,
It has to be fucking terrifying.
Oh, I'm sure.
Jesus, you've been doing a job for 20 years, which is just pulling over speeders and the occasional DUI. Probably should be more DUIs, but the occasional DUI.
Pushing a dead deer off the road into the ditch.
Yeah. Or like you're the one that puts the fucking barricades across the highway when it blizzards.
Yep.
But
and now all of a sudden you have to be fucking John McClane.
There's 2 dead people on the steps of the courthouse and there's gunfire inside. You're not sure if you have bullets in your gun.
Right. Yeah.
There's one time you almost shot your toe 4-wheeling, so you just keep it unloaded now. Fuck me, that would suck. God, just sitting there. It's like, I could just go home.
Honestly, I bet a lot of people who were like, yeah, I can be a nurse. I can handle that. Just went through that these last 2 years.
Yeah. Or think of being a nurse after a bad bus wreck and there's screaming, mangled
school shooting.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah.
For our international listeners, that's a bi-weekly thing that we do,
we do
here in America.
Yeah, we don't bother naming them.
It's easier to bury kids than ban guns.
Yeah.
So we're just sticking to the plan.
It's half the time. You don't have to go as deep. Their bones are malleable. They'll degrade quicker.
So maybe a coyote digs one up. Who gives a shit? That's like that drill thing is a good idea. It seems like a fucking insane thing to coordinate. Who did that? The city?
Had to have been like a
every department in on it for
probably
sure.
Like the sheriff, and then probably someone from the state.
Somebody
there's
from
someone
the hospital.
There's someone who part of their gig is setting these up.
Sure,
from Bismarck.
Yeah. I think the closest thing we ever had, like twice a year in school, we would have like a tornado drill and a fire drill. Not on the same day or anything, but
God, I used to love a fire drill.
Go stand outside
We're
for a while.
done learning, motherfuckers. Just go fucking horse around in the parking lot. Oh man, that was the best.
Those poor teachers, like
just trying to shove a little knowledge into our big dumb dense heads. And just all these impediments in their way. Oh, another storm day.
I meant those poor teachers, because what you did, at least at our school, for a fire drill was you all went outside and then you were supposed to stay clustered in your classes so that the teachers could keep track of, did anyone not get out?
Good luck.
Yeah, good fucking luck. Somebody already started playing a hacky sack game with a rock.
I
Like,
clearly remember a buddy of mine lying down in the back floorboards of his car and smoking whatever he had left of a joint.
good for him.
Yeah.
That's living.
Get through the rest of that day.
Thank God for fire drills.
I remember that. I think we did a monthly fire drill and then like a twice a year tornado drill.
A monthly fire drill?
Yeah. Unless I'm
Jesus.
conflating that with my last office job. I might be.
That's crazy too.
Yeah. That's that's an insurance thing now. Because I asked about that. Like, how can we do so many fire drills? Like I don't get this building is not that big, but it's like, yeah, we have to keep this insurance rate. Like, no shit.
Boy, what kind of cut rate insurance have my employers been working with? I've never had a fire drill as an employee.
Yeah.
Like, in my entire adult working life, I've never worked at a place that has a
WDUY,
fire drill.
But I mean, a place that when you have people live on the air at a radio station, they're just risking your lives because they know how much it would screw things up
Sure.
if they had to get everyone out of the office. Yeah, they're just, you're expendable.
Also, I was a strip club DJ for 6 years. How do you have a fire drill at the titty bar?
Yeah. Bringing up Predator quotes. If you were to bring that up to your boss, you'd be like Dylan getting talked down to by the Apollo Creed actor. I woke up. Why don't you? You're an asset, Marlon. An expendable asset. We need you in there getting the job done. Got it?
You gonna do the whole movie?
Yeah. What happened, Chip? You're someone I could trust. I assume your boss's name is Chip.
I'm just envisioning all these fucking 8-inch platform heels, topless women trying to run clomp out into the street. Cause a fucking traffic jam. You get that many titties out in public.
God, that would be something to witness.
If you were driving by that, just what the fuck?
Yeah, some fucking woman in her underwear putting her weave on because she's getting ready for the day, the night.
Right? You'd circle the block. You'd be like, "Hang on, I gotta."
What's going on here? Is she a movie?
And what kind of movie is this?
Music video?
Porn? What are we making pornography?
Someone that's my age that has a better memory. I swore, like in kindergarten or first grade, we had what was probably the final like nuclear bomb test.
Oh yeah,
I'm pretty sure we did one that was different than the tornado drill, and they explained it to us. I remember even at a young age thinking, "God, that's fucking metal."
Did you just duck and cover under the desk?
Yeah, because with the tornadoes, we'd go down in the tunnel. There's like a tunnel that literally led to nowhere in the basement of our.
This is a horror movie,
yeah, right? Oh my God, it just ends because at one time it connected to the original old school because they shared the lunchroom.
Okay.
So then they just blew that school up and then just shoved, I don't know, they filled the tunnel with trash. Run till you feel garbage bags and then lie down in the dark and then we'll come get you.
But is that different than the protocol for a bomb?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you also want to be downstairs for
I just
the bomb?
feel like something was different about it. I don't know. Yeah, I could have imagined. I daydreamed a lot. It turns out I was homeschooled. There's no such school as Sunnyvale.
What? Like it's not real? Your whole existence is shattered?
This degree from Sweet Valley High is clearly handwritten.
In crayon. So we're having a disaster preparedness drill in Springfield. The Simpsons go down to their storm shelter, which we've never seen before, but here it is. And down there they got, powdered food and gas. I love the visual of the gas masks on the wall, the 4 gas masks, and then a little one for Lisa. Abe is along for this too, by the way. So it's the Simpsons and Abe. And they all go down there, and they're sitting around. That bit of Bart with the rubber ball bouncing it off a wall and then off of Homer's head, and Homer's just non-responsive as this fucking bouncy ball
That was a good visual.
goes plunking off his head all the time. And then he finally snaps to, Bart, I told you an hour ago to stop that. Jesus. Maybe a little more often with the reminders, Homer. And then they decide, I forget who has the idea, but they kind of decide as a whole, like, wouldn't it be fun to go out because the town is empty because everyone else is also locked in their storm shelters? And they do. They go out there kind of like raising a little hell. Homer's running into shit with the car.
Yeah.
And then as they're driving past Town Hall, they're like, well, the parking lot is full. Wonder what that's all about. And they go in, and the town is having a secret town hall meeting where they're going to vote on whether or not to exile the Simpsons out of the town.
I don't know. It feels like we get less like the Simpsons are the pariah of Springfield type episodes than we used to. So it's just like, what have they done recently that deserves this kind of ire? You know?
Yeah, and like the examples they bring up, because Quimby has a few, are all old.
Yeah, right? Okay. I was thinking, in my head, did they feel old or are they old? But yeah, because, that's a trope they leaned into hard right away is like, they're not a good family, but like now they're just kind of one of the families now. Like,
yeah, and Homer hasn't destroyed the town or anything lately. Like,
he's more of an oaf than like a force of evil.
Yeah.
He's chaotic neutral.
He's no longer destructive for the most part. The town unanimously decides to kick the fucking Simpsons out. Fucking God bless Ned. He comes in and sticks up for him, or he's about to. And Quimby's like, yeah, we thought you'd have something to say. And he pulls a rope, and this swinging log fucking
just derails him. That would
smokes
disintegrate your insides.
knocks him clear out of the building outside. Poor Ned.
Yeah.
So the Simpsons are banished. They march them out of town to the city limits.
This whole episode had a real The Simpsons movie feel to it.
Yeah.
Really strongly.
Yeah, that's true.
And almost like a cinematic quality at times, too. It didn't feel like an episode.
Right. I kind of thought the same thing. And, the movie isn't horribly not about that either. It's them on their own, separated from the town.
They got the dome, and they escape through the sandbox.
Yep. So they take them out of town and go on, get out of here. The Simpsons are on their own. They're driving down the highway. I like that one of the kind of milestones of leaving is, that was the last Springfield radio station that we got as it crackles and goes to static. That was fun. They pull over so Bart can pee, and there's a man. There's a man with a beard and a gun, and giving him the you get on out of here kind of thing, and. This fella lives off the grid.
Yeah.
And Homer is intrigued about off the grid. They call it the Outlands, which is metal. I think that's super fucking cool name. And they're like, well, we're looking for a place to live, so let's do it. And they decide to live in the Outlands. And this is where the commercial break happens, and when it comes back and we get the Outlands intro, where we do the intro, but it's a little hillbilly. It's done by Alison Krauss and whatever her band
Union
name
Station.
is. Yep, Union Station. They're the ones doing that intro. Super fun. I loved that. I love the weird alternate intro bit. And I like the way all this looks.
Yep.
It's a little hillbilly. It's a little Mad Maxy.
Yeah. Little Western America. There's a lot of you drive from anywhere across through Idaho, Wyoming, Montana. You just come over a mountain. All of a sudden, there's 8 dilapidated trailer parks. It's I guess people live here. There's cars in front of them, and just fucking nothing seems to have any order to it at all. It's fuck it.
Huh.
Where do you work? We're fucking 200 miles away from the nearest town.
Do you work?
Yeah.
What is...
Fucking... I've driven from Reno to Las Vegas. There's no interstate. It's all 2-lane highway. You'll be in the middle of nothing. All of a sudden, there's 6 trailer houses all by each other. If you looked at it from the sky, it'd be like, what? Is that like a fucking Running Man logo? Nothing is orderly. It's like, what do you do? I don't get it.
Yeah, what does your day consist of?
Fucking hunting down tourists. Your heels have eyes in it.
And it's this is a weird So I don't know if this is real, but when I think live off the grid and live out in the woods, like I think of two groups, and it's the hippies who want to have an eco commune.
Yep.
And it's the lunatic militants.
Yep. That are just have hard-ons for the first nuke bomb to drop.
Oh yeah, they're just hard as a rock with their ARs and their super
dehydrated soups.
Yeah, they're all the fucking oath keepers. You know, and all they eat are MREs. Like, but this doesn't seem to be either of those.
Yeah.
This just seems to be
Kind of like more just like outlaws. We don't want to be part of society anymore.
Yeah.
But they're not really super prepared for it. Like,
Right.
I don't see any like fucking no one's filtering water.
It has a Mad Max vibe.
Yeah. End of the world type. Yep. You're absolutely.
I love Homer's Outlands look with his fucking hat and his Bret Hart sunglasses and his hooded his pullover sweatshirt with the sleeves ripped off. Like, pretty into it.
I like, speaking of Mad Max, I like how much Maggie's leaned into fucking
Oh my
Outland living.
God, with her mohawk, and she's always trying to stab people. Maggie's gone hard.
Went feral.
Yes. I think it's I assume it's a Mad Max reference. Lisa has a gyrocopter.
And then also fucking Maggie is in the fucking Thunderdome.
Yep.
Yeah. And if you're gonna lean into any sci-fi futuristic thing, please lean into Mad Max. That's,
of course.
That's some of the flavors that I like.
Post-apocalypse shit is some of my favorite shit, especially the Mad Max flavor. Lisa is super into this because it's like closer to nature. Homer is into it because he's an idiot and is just like, whatever, we can do whatever we want.
Doesn't have to work.
He just likes riding four-wheeler,
Yeah.
which, hey, riding four-wheeler is pretty fun.
cool.
So I get it. They go meet their neighbor, who is Julian Assange, playing himself.
Yeah, I remember when that was in the news that he was going to be on The Simpsons.
Really?
Yep.
Was he like exiled at this point? Probably. Well, maybe.
Nope, he was still loved for showing off all the wrong things that the Bush administration did towards torturing people.
Oh, okay.
So he was everyone loved him
He hadn't gotten run out yet.
until he did the things that to show what the other side did. So it's like, wait a second.
We don't like that at all. He has a cat, so he's cool with me. I really have no beef with Assange.
Nope, he's a victim in all this.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
for fucking sure. Blow the whistle, baby.
Yep. Oh my God.
As many as you got.
If you don't remember anything for this podcast, blow all the whistles.
Every whistle.
Yeah.
That's a good Flo Rida song also.
Toot toot. Is that how it goes?
No, not at all. You don't know. It's fine. You don't have to pretend you know Flo Rida
I might get it.
in order to participate.
Fair enough.
Blow my whistle, babe. That's a good fucking song. It's about blowjobs, but it's framed as a whistle.
That's one thing a person could do.
I will defend Flo Rida while we're like, not only I give my stamp of approval to Julian Assange and Flo Rida.
Flo Rida has a song I would recognize.
Yes, for sure.
He didn't go. Riding Dirty's Chamillionaire, right? Or is that Flo Rida?
No, it's not Flo Rida. Is it Chamillionaire?
Yeah, it's Chamillionaire. Okay.
Yeah, like chameleon.
That was Chamillionaire.
Oh,
I've seen it
boy.
in print. Yep.
The only one who's not into living off the grid in the Outlands is Marge.
Yeah, Marge doesn't like it.
She doesn't like it at all. But Homer, pulling some good guy shit here, takes her back, sneaks her back into Springfield, gives her a little taste.
Fucking Smithers costume. That
Insane.
It's so ridiculous.
Homer's Burns costume,
it's
also
good too.
pretty funny.
But just all of her hair with the fucking Smithers flat top on top
just
of it.
pressed
So
down on top of it.
stupid.
It fools Wiggum.
Yeah, he's a dolt.
So they're drinking beers, sitting in the Lard Lads donut, and then they're fucking making out at Barney's bowling alley, and then they get back into their old house and they bang in their old house. Like they're fucking living life here.
What a fun night.
And that's when they're post-coital in the Simpson home, and that's when the fucking bullies show up, and they're squatting in the Simpson house because it's abandoned and condemned or shut down for whatever. And they hear the Simpsons upstairs. They go outside. The cops are waiting for them. The whole town is waiting for them. And Wiggum, to his credit, is like, "You really think I was going to fall for that Mr. Burns costume, Homer? Get out of here!" And so there's a brief confrontation on the lawn, a little tension. The cops are maybe going to shoot them.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Marge scolds them all about how, like, we wouldn't want to listen. We don't want to be back here because you people are dog shit. You're awful to us and each other. And they leave. And so they're back out in the Outlands. We get Bart on a three-wheeler. Not often you see a three-wheeler in things. Yeah. Three-wheelers are an insane invention.
Very dangerous.
Who made this? Yeah. Like, you can't not tip it over.
Yeah.
It's impossible to not tip it over.
No one looks at a triangle and thinks that's safe.
Yeah, that's perfectly sturdy.
That's exactly how we want to do things.
Unbelievable. Fucking three-wheeler. So they're just hanging out, doing their thing in the Outlands, and that's when Lenny and Carl show up.
Yeah.
And they want to live there, too. They want to get away from it all. They want to live in the Outlands. And this quickly snowballs and gets out of control. The entire town moves to the Outlands. The thing they ran from, now the town...
Yeah, it's ran to them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Plymouth Rock landed on the Outlands here. And everyone moves to the Outlands. And that's kind of the end of the episode, except we see that we forgot Skinner. Skinner's the only one.
That was a good visual. Like,
just Skinner in an empty ghost town and no one else around. And he's like, surely they'll be coming back. And it plays a sad song.
Yeah.
And the credits start and then stop pretty immediately. And Bart comes back with the gyrocopter like, we couldn't leave you, Skinner, and throws him a rope and takes off, knocking him into shit.
Yeah,
as
into
they
like
leave.
the smokestacks at the power plant.
Yeah,
shit.
and the Lard Lads donut.
Yeah.
Like, so is that canon? Is this now the third Springfield? Because we've moved Springfield once already.
What happened to the original Springfield?
No idea. I hope that episode comes about.
Yeah.
Was it flooded or burned?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Some kind of disaster.
But this is the third one now. Yep. I liked this episode. I like all the Mad Max shit. The visuals, super visually interesting. I love that redone intro. I thought that was great. Fun. I like this one.
Yeah, and it just had that's the theme in this group. A way different vibe than most episodes because it felt like the movie.
It really did. Like, I couldn't put my finger on it until you brought that up, and I was like, yeah, it did feel like the movie.
I just wish, like most all these, more laughs. This is one of the more laugh light bunches we've had in a while.
This, like, we still have one more to cover, but this was not. This was my least favorite batch in a while, but I think we've come off a couple of hot ones. Yeah. So,
or just a good run of average.
Right, and none of these are bad, but they're average at best. I think.
Yep.
You know.
Yep. But how about episode 15, exit through the quickie marks?
Let's do one more.
Could this turn it around?
I was excited right away because I knew the reference of the title, and I like that movie a lot.
It's exit through the what door?
Exit through the gift shop.
Gift shop, there we go.
Is the documentary about Banksy.
We get a Game of Thrones couch gag. I forget that show's that old.
Yes, and we brought this up, I think, last week when there's a Game of Thrones reference in that one episode where Krusty and Joan Rivers are on HBO time.
Oh, yeah.
And they make a quick Game of Thrones reference. I also thought the same thing. I was like, boy, it feels like we're catching up to ourselves.
Shit.
Remember in the early episodes of this podcast where we were like, where were you? I was 11 when this came out.
I couldn't read when this came out.
Still can't.
Yeah, getting better, though.
Yeah, attaboy.
You're sounding them out.
I watched this intro twice. I loved this intro.
Is it faithful to the original intro to the show?
Oh, yeah. It's the same music.
Interesting. I figured it must be.
And it's... like, that's the... Have you never seen the show? Nathan.
I've seen 3/4 of one episode in a hotel once. Oh,
Unbelievable. You'd love that show.
I've heard. See, it seems fun.
It's right up your alley. Oh my God.
People fucking dragons.
They don't fuck the dragons.
That's my
Spoiler,
alley.
they don't fuck the dragons.
Well, I'll read the spark
But
notes.
it's HBO, so there's fucking titties every chance they get. A lot of dong in that show.
A lot of horn?
Yeah, a lot of horn. A lot of horns hanging in that show. But it's good. It's like a political intrigue show, but set in that.
It seemed everyone says, man, it's fun. You're gonna get tied. You're gonna get sucked in.
Yeah, you're gonna love it.
It sinks its fucking dragon claws into you.
I am not a like sword and sorcery type person.
That's what's
and
drove me away
show.
from it.
Yep.
That kind of shit always seemed. As a guy that liked He-Man guys, you think I would, but
yeah. I am very. That is not usually my flavor, but it's very good. And this is the intro, like the intro of Game of Thrones, like pans over the map and all the major cities rise up with this clockwork kind of shit.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's great. This just in. Game of Thrones, pretty good.
This hot new show that nobody knows about.
Falls off towards the end, but still worth the journey.
As many things do.
Yeah, I am. I'm falling off towards the end as we speak.
Lost was the first thing that came to mind.
I think Lost fell apart long before the end.
Yeah, see, I stuck with it, and I watched the whole thing and was engaged.
So did I.
Yeah.
Those last couple seasons, it was like shoveling snow. This is the thing we got to do.
Yes, if we don't do it, it's just going to bug us. I've heard the same thing about two Showtime shows from the same era, Weeds and Dexter. I've heard that they both have a pretty miserable final season.
Weeds lost me before the final season. Weeds really went off the rails from where it starts.
I just had a friend mention that to me.
But it does it in like season 3. Like to me, it goes off the rails. And Dexter, I thought season 2 was bad, so I didn't watch it again. Yeah. But I remember really liking those first couple of seasons of Weeds.
Let's see how we like episode 15 of The Simpsons.
Why don't we?
Begins with Homer and the kids going to some kind of like Trader Joe's. I think they call it Swapper
Jacks. And it's an amalgamation of things because it's called Swapper Jacks, but its logo is the Whole Foods logo.
Okay, thank you. I was wondering.
Like, we just mash them together.
Yeah, because this is around that time when like stores like this were all the rage. And
never been to a Trader Joe's or a Whole Foods.
I've been to a Trader Joe's, never a Whole Foods. You would like a Trader Joe's as a man who enjoys a spicy sauce or a unique nut. They got a lot of kind of.
I love a unique nut. Yeah,
they kind of. I mean, there's cameras, so careful.
How am I getting my unique nut today? I don't know. Slam it in the silverware drawer. Yep, that did her.
Ooh, this did not get me there.
Oh, a ruined one.
Make a note.
Oh, jeez.
It starts with them going there because it's Marge's birthday, and Homer is fucking trying to be fucking spouse of the year here. He's got a big plan.
Doing pretty well.
Yep. Get some whatever the hot new kitchen gizmo is.
It's the Puree Station 3, which I really laughed at that.
That is very good.
It's like a food processor. It's called the Puree Station 3.
And it's the pitch woman is Paula Paul.
Yeah, celebrity chef
Paula Paul. Doesn't really look like Paula Deen, but gives that energy.
Kind of sounds like her a little.
You know, the homespun charm of you put more brown sugar and everything.
More butter.
Yeah.
I was like legit taken aback when this happened because I was like, what? Homer has a sandwich under his pillow.
Oh, yeah.
in a Ziploc bag.
Yep.
And he just...
Such a good quick gag.
As if it's the most normal thing in the world. Just
AM
pulls
Sammy.
half of it out, takes a few bites, puts the other half back under his pillow.
Lisa's trying to wake him up and he won't wake up. And she's like using a broom handle to hit the fire alarm.
Yeah, which doesn't wake him up. But yeah, he sits up in bed and just wordlessly just pulls the sandwich.
It's not addressed. And he just puts it back.
Eats half the sandwich. And I'm starting to think, is Homer living in 2032 and we should have under pillow sandwiches?
Sammy's everywhere.
Like, can you imagine waking up and being like, "Oh, I have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich under my pillow."
I like a little Miracle Whip and mayo on a Sammy, so I'd have to diverge from that. We'd have to go to a different avenue because
It can't be a cold one.
Yeah.
You can't put a cold sandwich under there.
a real cured meat, you have to find the right cured meat. But then is it worth the hassle at that point? You got to ask yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
For a breakfast, Sammy?
Oh, man.
In bed?
That would be good. And use butter. Butter can age. Butter can handle room temp.
Yeah, but I don't like warm butter or
really?
warm Miracle Whip.
Yeah.
Or, like, I could handle a mustard. How about a
Yeah,
ham and
mustard can make you sick. Yeah. There's plenty of cheeses that could handle it. Some cheese couldn't, some could.
I'm also somebody, I'll eat a dry sandwich. I'll eat a condimentless sandwich.
I prefer not to, but I get it. Yeah.
I'll do it raw dog. I'll do it with no
Just
condiment.
Eating fucking sub sandwiches with nothing on it like a goddamn barbarian.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's how I prefer to eat like hot dogs, especially if I'm driving.
No shit. Of just nothing on it. Hot dog on a bun.
If I'm driving, yeah.
Man, that I don't want to judge you, but that should get you put away.
Same with a burger. Like if I get drive through, if I go to McDonald's and I get a couple of McDoubles, plain, because I don't want to spill ketchup on myself while I'm driving.
I have literally unbuttoned my shirt and had my boy bosoms exposed and had ketchup
bosoms?
in my ketchup in my chest and gut hair and had to give myself a fucking wet nap bath while driving 80 miles an hour on the interstate because I will not settle for less when it comes to my burgers.
Horrifying visual.
Yep. Just ketchup running down the middle of my rotund torso.
Wiping your mouth with the wrapper the burger comes in. Jesus.
Totally have done that before.
If I'm gonna eat while I'm driving, I plan ahead. Nothing that's gonna drip, nothing that's gonna fall apart.
Yep.
Like I don't go to Taco Bell when I'm gonna eat on the road.
But I would pull over and eat the fries, and then I could eat the burger on the road. I prefer not to do that because I want it drenched in ketchup, and I don't want to make a huge mess.
Nope, dry fries, condimentless burger.
Man, I couldn't do it.
And odds are no fries. I'm a order 2 sandwiches, no fries.
Oh, okay.
I roll that route.
Yeah.
Because I don't think even the best fries aren't as good as another sandwich.
Yeah, usually that's the case. I see where you're coming from there.
Yeah, I always. But if I'm making a hot dog at home, which I never do, but if I am, like, it's so loaded full of shit you can't see the dog.
Basic bitch. Ketchup, mustard, thank you.
Oh, mustard, onions, relish, kraut, fucking celery or sesame seeds, like some of those crispy onions if I got them.
With like a bratwurst or a kielbasa, then I don't mind a little kraut. Relish is one of those foods I should revisit. Never liked it as a kid, but I mean, I literally haven't had relish in 25 years.
You want to start a new podcast about
Where I
relish revisit?
Yeah, it's like you having to like hold me because I'm trying to like pull away from it. Like no, in the mouth. Like
here comes the airplane.
Yeah,
I have relish in that fridge. You want to do this right now?
I don't think I'm not emotionally ready. I need a couple of days. Prepare myself.
Give the people what they want, Nathan.
It sounds like an episode of Maury, like where someone's afraid of snakes and they decide, hey, we're gonna break them by
immersion therapy.
Yeah. That just ends up with someone shitting all over the couch on the set of Maury.
Well, I don't want you shitting on the couch in my apartment, so we'll do it a different time.
You just casually open a jar of relish and you hear me shit.
Just a gurgling.
Just panic diarrhea everywhere. Like a squid. That's my defense mechanism.
You just ruined that couch.
I'm about to get mugged. I pull my pants down and bend over. One long turd comes out. I've been eating better.
And just slowly flops to the sidewalk. Like, I'm still going to need your wallet.
Yeah, right. That was fucked, but I need your wallet. That was really weird, dude.
Like, he may have your wallet, but he also didn't sleep that night. Right. So you also kind of won.
Yeah. That's a draw.
It's a draw. Oh, God, the idea of you fucking just bombing down the highway with your shirt unbuttoned, ketchup all in your chest hair. That's a nightmare.
Yeah. Looking over, giving like a bun tooth smile.
You've been refusing to break eye contact with the vehicle vehicle you've matched speed with for 12 miles
I
now.
just perfectly keep syncing it up because they're very much trying to get past
The
me.
kids in the back are screaming.
Oh, it's all about making your own
Shit.
fun.
That's an album cover is what that is.
So Homer wants
Right.
to get his PlayStation 3 autographed by Paula Paul, which weird thing to do, but hey, goddamn, he's going the extra mile for Marge because she's there to sign books, so she's kind of like, okay.
He's doing good.
Yeah.
Homer's a good Homer in this
And then
opening bit.
she's like, hey, she sounds like a great lady. This would make for good TV. How about I call her and wish her a happy birthday at 7 p.m. on my show?
During
it's going
the
to be
show,
live. And he's over the moon. He's because he knows he killed it.
Killing it.
Fast forward to them on the evening for Marge's birthday, and they're all showing their gifts, and Homer's just jacked because he knows how well he did. I can't remember what Lisa gets her, but Bart gets her a bunny.
Yep, a pet bunny, a white bunny.
And it's a good gift because she had a bunny when she was little. And
Yeah,
she's-
we're all killing it for Marge's
so
birthday.
Marge's having a hell of a birthday.
You ever dabble in rabbit ownership?
No.
You ever had the desire?
No.
Bunnies are so cute. Why don't you
Man,
want one?
Everything's cute. Good. That's how people end up being fucking animal hoarders because they're all cute.
Yeah, but
Especially
you
babies.
can just pet it.
Yeah. Then all of a sudden, now you got 14 fucking rabbits. Now you got 28 half inbred rabbits, and it's just all of a sudden everything smells like turds. That is always the end of animal ownership. Everything smells like piss and turds.
I had a rabbit when I was a kid.
In the house?
No.
Yeah.
Outside rabbit.
Yeah. Outside rabbits I can roll with.
But it had its own enclosure. Like, it wasn't just loose. Like, would have gotten eaten by a
I'm
coyote.
just going to say to the limit, I could somehow become an apex predator. You guys were giving it the bovine tranquil or the bovine steroids. just Christ. See the traps on that goddamn rabbit.
We raised hormoneless cattle.
Yeah,
we
it's
didn't.
fucking tree and mountain lions.
It's in the yard just doing fucking crunches. Rabbit have a 6-pack? I was just trying to get to the barn and the rabbit called me a pansy.
Yeah.
What's going
I
on?
guess I'll do chores tomorrow.
Boy, his acne is horrible.
Yeah.
Oh, I enjoyed it. Yeah, rabbits are cute. I had a pet rabbit. Freckles.
I get it. It just ain't for me.
I think I got Freckles for Easter when I was probably 5 years old, and that rabbit died when I was in college. Rabbits live forever.
Shit, really?
Yeah.
I had to figure out their hearts that they beat so fast. Eventually, they would just keel over. Huh?
By that logic, as slowly as mine goes, I'll live forever.
There we go. Yep. Just fucking just slip sliding away into your 90s.
I
Yeah.
got a real lackadaisical ticker.
Yeah, flump. Flump, like a fat guy rolling over in bed. Each beat's a struggle. Ugh.
Every beat is preceded by, I guess.
So fucking Homer he gives the gift. She loves the gift. Oh, I love Paula Paula. You think you love Paula Paula? You're gonna love this. He synchronizes it perfectly.
He's got it.
He's waiting. How about now? And 3, 2, 1, and camera cuts back. It's still and Marge. They're all birthdayed out.
The clock has advanced like 3 hours
Yeah,
now.
it's like, how come we haven't gotten a call? He's like, I planned everything right. And he's like, follows the phone cord. All of a sudden, he notices it's torn through. It's like, what the fuck? so and then Lisa's like, something chewed through the cord. And they see a couple other cords that are all frayed. And then they fucking see that goddamn rabbit chewing on like a lamp cord or something like that. So the whole time, fucking, they just didn't even have a phone. So they hook it up again. And like the answering machine is still hooked up, which... Getting to the end, the answer machine's being a thing here pretty quick.
Yeah, but it's voicemails. It says voicemails.
Yeah.
It's a digital recorder. It's not a cassette, I don't think.
Oh, interesting.
So,
Okay.
Like, there was that half step.
That is a fair half step. There's no mini cassettes being placed in it anymore. And now we get to listen to the recordings of Paula Paul calling and listening to her slowly lose her mind and tell Marge she's the worst person ever. Which, what a way to end your birthday.
No kidding.
Having your favorite celebrity rip you a new asshole.
Yeah.
And
by the end of the messages, by the third or fourth one, it is full on like, you've ruined my show.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah. And Marge is like, I think I've had enough birthday that I can stand for one day. So Homer is furious with Bart.
they also see he's like somebody goes to the TV like, oh, you can watch it, and the studio audience is like
they've sided with her.
Yeah, has like Marge effigy that they've lynched. Like, Jesus, things
have really went hostile in a hurry.
Unbelievable.
She's not even famous. She's just a woman.
Yep.
So Marge went to bed. Homer's furious, and his punishment. But again, fucking Bart didn't know this rabbit was a dud.
Right. This isn't Bart's fault.
Yep. Fucking Homer makes him stay in the goddamn rabbit cage.
Yep.
Just with the little feeder bottle and shit like that.
Fun visual.
Yeah. Bart fights right away, but Homer gets him in there, so he's fucking very angry with that. And finally Homer makes him get out. I thought this was a good visual. And it's because Bart tries to reverse. I actually like it in here. I don't want to leave. He finally wrestles him out of there. And he's got his head inside there. It's like just cedar shavings in the cage. Who could enjoy it? All of a sudden he's asleep.
Yeah.
Just his head in a goddamn rabbit
Turns out
cage.
it's great.
Yep. And that whole thing was just kind of to get the story going because Bart now has vowed revenge against Homer. And this is when he starts doing like street art to mock Homer.
Yeah.
And Milhouse is his partner in crime. And basically just kind of like they're stealing famous like street art tropes, if that be the right word. Like the Obey.
Yeah, it's the Shepard Fairey Obey.
Yeah.
There's a couple others that I can't off the top of my head pull. There's a few pretty Banksy ones.
And they're just fucking... And they spread them all over town. And Homer, because it starts hitting the local news, and Homer's oblivious to it. Like, oh, I wonder what that guy... Fucking Marge coming in. Like, have you seen our stencils? Our stencil? Whatever their monthly stencil allowance.
Budget.
Yeah, stencil budget. There you go. And he's still just oblivious to it. Like... And Bart, it's like, oh, what are you thinking about, boy? He's like, I'm thinking about some fucking random political fucking hot button issue. Like, how are we going to pay for these roads? Something like that. And fucking now they're loving it. And they're fucking, the momentum's carrying. They're getting shit all over town. And they're out on the street in an alleyway doing it. All of a sudden, like 4 or 5 shadowy people come up to them to kind of confront them. And turns out they are real life street artists. The names I have are Shepard Fairey, Ron English, Kenny Scharf, and Robbie Canal.
Yeah.
You know any of those names?
I know Scharf is the one he's the one who they show him doing like the dripping faces one. That's that guy. He came up alongside like Basquiat.
Okay.
And that Ron Canal, however you say his last name, he's a posterer.
Oh.
And like I like that the animation matches who these guys are.
Yeah.
Like he's rolling glue
Some political
up
ones.
on the wall.
Yep.
Yeah. I like that they made each of them, in the animation style. And Shepard Fairey, of course, he did the Andre the Giant Obey and the Obama Hope poster.
Which I think he name drops in this.
He does, yeah.
So
probably the most successful of that scene. I mean, you made the Obama poster.
I would think, I would agree with you, yeah.
I'm sure Banksy lives comfortably wherever he is.
He's making his rent.
I like that still no one's figured that out.
Yeah.
All these years.
In today's day and age.
Like I've read a lot of like theories, like a lot of people being like, I think it's this guy who's in this band because this kind of matches their tour schedule there for a little while. Like, and like this documentary, Exit Through the Gift Shop, is super good.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun to watch. I love this shit. I love fucking graffiti.
And on the cover of the box, is it like a mouse on the exit?
It's a rat. Yeah, that's his thing.
Okay.
That's Banksy's thing, is the rats.
And I almost kind of forgot, there is a bee story in this with, is it Swapper Jacks?
Swapper Jacks.
It's taken Springfield by storm, and what that means, no one's shopping at the Quickie Mart anymore.
Yeah.
And it's like, and he's there and he sees all of his betrayers, all of his former loyal customers shopping.
Yeah, Apu.
And he's just throwing a huge thing. Something like, it's like, because we never have anything fresh. It's like, I'll never have fresh food. Like, the hills he's dying on are so good. And like 2 employees tackle him and wrap him up and take him out.
After he and Homer have that elaborate, long cocktail sword fight.
Yeah.
That was
a little
fun.
long for my taste, but it was fun. Yeah.
Yeah, it was one of those, like, part of the joke is that it's too long.
Yeah.
So I was all right with it.
So when we do get back, it's a very minimal B story, but we do get back to that after a while. So the Bart and his art is becoming such a thing that like the Springfield upper crust high art community wants to sink their fucking teeth into this shit.
Which this is what happened. This is what happened to street art. You know, the art community got a hold of it.
So that's what they're going to do. Like, what's the word for that? Is it an art show or
A gallery exhibition?
Yep.
You know,
So
whatever.
And it's around this time Homer finally is aware
That it's him.
that everyone's dunking on him and all this art.
Yeah.
And he finds out it's Bart, so he feels betrayed, which fucking fair enough. Like everything in that town is now making fun of you pretty much.
Yeah.
So cut to the inside of the gallery. It's all the, it's the artists we met and all like the rich people and the rest of the Simpsons except for Homer. They're checking things out.
He's in his car.
Yeah, just sitting in the car.
Like dressed for it, but then waiting in the car.
Wait, and then
it's so dumb.
And then Bart comes out and kind of lets him know, like, just tries to apologize. One time he spray paints "I'm sorry" on the hood of a little bit of art. He's like, "It's just destroyed my car. It's worth 5 times more." It's like, my car's worth $500.
God, that's so funny.
So that was good. So those two eventually kind of make nice. And what else we get is, getting back to the B story, there's a fucking pathetic attempt at Apu to rob the goddamn fucking Swapper Jacks at gunpoint. Snake works there. It's some kind of felony rehabilitation thing, and it's just fucking so sad sack. You know, like he just gets the gun from him. Like no one even presses charges.
Poor Apu just like doesn't have it in him.
And in what feels like, oh my God, I forgot we had a B story. We got to wrap this up. He comes home all dejected, and his wife is just like, good news. Turns out everything at Swapper Jacks is monkey meat.
Yeah, and they're shutting down.
Yeah. It's like,
And that's it.
And they just rattle, what about the, what's it called? That's monkey tail. What about this? That's monkey burger. Like,
Yeah.
Which would be such an insane thing if that came out.
Like the amount of time, the small amount of time dedicated to this B story. Did you even need this B story?
So weird. It was, it felt,
like they clearly didn't care about it because it just wraps up with her telling him all this stuff about the monkey meat.
Yeah. I mean, it was funny. I like the idea of that.
Yeah, it was funny.
Yeah, but yeah, it seems weirdly forced. So get back to the art show. All is well. Fucking Homer's, those fences have been mended. And then the goddamn 5-0 shows up.
Yeah.
We get fucking, I'm trying to think. They're in some kind of form of costume.
Well, Wiggum's a pan, with the goatee and everything, and the fucking leaf over his junk, and then
Centaur.
The other two are a centaur,
Yeah.
and like I was like taken aback because it's just Lou, who's the centaur torso,
top,
and that scene goes on with just Wiggum and Lou for a while. And then eventually the other one pulls away. He's the back half of the horse, like a horse costume, but the scene had gone on long enough that I forgot about him.
That was good.
So when he popped out, I was like, it's funny. He's the back half.
So it turns out this is just an elaborate sting operation to find out who's been doing all the vandalism. And it turns out it was all set up because Shepard Fairey is an undercover cop.
He's the rat. Shepard Fairey's the rat.
So, I mean, they have done a lot of vandalism, or Bart has done a lot. So, like, he's about to get arrested. He's getting cuffed. And then Marge, of course, steps in because Marge doesn't want to see him go to jail.
Yeah.
And they make a compromise. And he gets to spend the rest of the art show in the rabbit cage because they're, like, doing autographs from inside the cage.
Yep. Like rolling up each one because he has to slip it through the bars.
I just like the occasional suck off the water thing.
Just gets a little bit.
And all's well in The Simpsons.
Yeah. I like that one because I like street art and I like that documentary.
Yep.
Like, you wouldn't get this having not seen the documentary, but what I thought was one of the nicest touches when Bart and Milhouse are going around, we get kind of a montage of them doing graffiti all around, and they're playing Richard Hawley's "Tonight the Streets Are Ours," which is like a great song, and that song is from that movie.
Okay.
Or at least that's where I first heard
I
it.
remember. I can't even remember the song. I just remember thinking this must mean something.
Yeah, it's a little loungy.
Yeah.
Like it's fun. I like that song a lot. So when it played, I was like, that's fun.
I get that in a lot of Simpsons episodes. It's like this song isn't just by chance. This is referencing something I'm unaware of.
Yeah, I feel that a lot with The Simpsons. If I don't get something, I'm like, boy, maybe that was for somebody.
Yep.
You know, like
I had a hunch that it would be weird if only one or two of those people were actual street artists and three were just, we got to make up. We need three more for some reason.
Right, exactly.
We want them to appear to be a gang when they first arrive.
Yep. Yeah, that was. I liked the added touch of like each one of them doing what they actually do, because they could have just as easily just had them in the background drawing a line with a spray paint. You know.
Yeah, you get to see their actual art in their style.
Yep.
I thought that was neat.
I always thought the postering was cool.
Yep.
Like. And hard, probably. Like you're walking around with a bucket of a 5-gallon pail of glue and a paint roller, fucking tossing shit up.
Gotta have someone else holding it, wouldn't you think? Or I don't even know.
I don't know.
Yes.
A lot of folks roll with a spotter just to keep an eye out for the police.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
that's fun.
Yeah.
That's fun. I like that one. I didn't like it as much as the Outlands episode. That's probably my favorite of the batch.
I don't even know if I can choose. They were this underwhelming for me.
They were all a little flat.
Just that. I think the first episode 11 had the most laughs, but there was basically like 2 or 3 big pops, and that was it. Mm-hmm. So nothing was laugh heavy this round.
Yeah, you mentioned that earlier, and I think you're right. Nothing's super hot on laughs. A couple like off the wall stories. A couple of pretty basic ones. That fucking bar rag one, man.
So
Jesus.
I'll give them credit for having such a fucking off the wall idea.
Way to take a big chop at something.
Yeah. And she made an alcoholic hip, or I made an alcoholic hippo. You have a hippo?
God damn it. And that's it. That's another batch in the bag of The Simpsons. Let's do it. You want to do it again next week? You want to maybe kick it around?
Why not? Should we try 5?
Why not do 5?
watch 5.
Okay, let's try it. Let's just throw out a number. 5. Let's do 5.
5 sounds fun.
Okay, 5 episodes of The Simpsons for next week. Season 23, episodes 16 to 20. Here we're almost done with 23. These seasons go quick. God
Just fucking,
damn.
we're reeling in the years.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good song.
Yeah, right? If Doobie Brothers, good band name? Never. We'll
No,
talk
it's a
about
horrible fucking band name.
Okay, my bad.
This
never happened.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You're not talking about China Grove.
Yeah. Taking it to the streets is what we're going to do.
I don't like that song at all. That's not a good song.
That's Michael McDonald era when they're trying to get some hits.
Yeah. To me, Doobie Brothers is China Grove.
Yeah. That's probably their best song.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Of their hits, at least.
I don't think I love any of them, but that's probably the one I like the most.
Like Jeff Skunk Baxter. Was he guitarist?
Are you just making up nicknames right now?
Jeff Skunk Baxter. Why did I just call him Skunk?
That's the most.
Was there another Skunk Baxter? They're like, hey, which one are we talking here? No, Jeff Skunk. He plays rhythm guitar and oh, that makes sense.
Jeff Skunk Baxter.
Yeah.
That sounds like a super off brand of overalls.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you meant the Skunk Baxter that plays bass in Grand Funk. No, this is Jeff. That's
Skunk.
Dwayne. Oh.
Why didn't you say it?
Yeah. You're right, Jeff. You got to start putting it out front.
Jeff Skunk Baxter is like the most bargain basement of serial killers. They always got 3 names.
Yeah. He's terrible at it, but just by pure sheer cop ineptitude stays uncaught.
Yep.
Yeah. I fucked up again. Just droopy dog at it. Oh, boy. You're never going to get the deposit back here.
Boom. 16 to 20 for next week. Season 23. Shout out to Columbus, Ohio, who apparently heard us when we mentioned a couple weeks of like Columbus hasn't been putting up the numbers. Fucking Columbus is putting up they heard us talking
Someone
shit.
peer pressured their elderly family into downloading it. Which, God bless you.
Like they're a Wells Fargo employee making fucking fake checking accounts for everybody.
Yeah, just yelling at them and browbeating them into downloading podcasts against their will.
We're not having dinner until everyone downloads this podcast.
So if you have any elderly relatives you could coerce into downloading the podcast, we really...
Absolutely, especially if they're in an old folks home. That is a literal captive audience.
Oh my God! Thank you. Yes.
Oh,
Force them.
we are number one with the elderly.
Yep.
We've said it from the beginning.
They're a growth market.
Oh, absolutely. In podcasts.
Yeah. Oh man.
So, congrats to Columbus. Welcome back.
Good job,
Virginia's
Columbus.
still holding strong. Virginia
Good
likes us.
for you.
Thanks, Virginia. It's for lovers.
Yes, it is, and fans of America's Barley Basket.
You can find us on the internet at Barley Basket USA on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. BarleyBasketUSA@gmail.com is the email address, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, everybody.